Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sin Bin Podcast, Season 2, Episode 7. And we are live and direct with all the sinners up in the house tonight. We got Sinner JP, also known as the Mexicans. We got Sinner Mr. No Fact Check Saucedo, also known as Tyler. And of course, we got Sinner Tony, aka The Shiner. And I be your host, the Toxic Sinner, Moodz. Yeah. What's good, my Cinecine scenes?
What it
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like it's
Nah,
been
shit.
forever as usual. Definitely a lot. Another week added on this particular one.
Yeah, this would have been done a week ago. JP had to postpone it, which
I almost
Does-
did it again.
it does feel like we haven't recorded in a long time. So I think it's been feels like 6 weeks, I feel like.
Because we're just like not recording right now for 22 shots, so just recording seems a lot more infrequent.
Well, we just did a
Yeah.
22 shots
We
episode.
did just do one. Yeah.
Yeah,
one-
we're
one
used
just
to
went up.
doing it like 5 shows a month,
Yeah.
so that's kind of what I think.
But
Yeah.
anyways, we are back with episode 7, and it's our favorite show. Well, our second favorite show of the year, where we get to talk about our top 5 first half releases from Vinegar Syndrome. So that's pretty cool. But speaking of Vinegar Syndrome and the releases through the first 6 months of the years, what are your guys' overall thoughts on this year so far? Not just Vinegar Syndrome titles, but also you can lump in like partner label stuff too, but
Mhm.
however you want to do it.
So, a couple things. First of all, did we actually talk about the what the Dario Argento title was that one time?
No, I don't think we were speculating. I think because
We
we did the
def- we-
last show before.
I feel like we were talking about it, and then it was like, what, 2 days later, it got announced, and
Yeah,
it was
'cause we did
everyone's
the
worst
show.
nightmare.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did
I
the show,
couldn't
like,
remember if we
Wednesday.
actually did another show after that or not.
Was the last time we recorded at the end of June?
Yeah, so we've
Yeah.
had 2 announcements since then.
Yeah, we haven't talked about any of like 2 months worth of releases yet.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was like, we definitely need to talk about like some of the stuff that was announced, which is like I think we were all speculating what the Argento title was, and I think we were all hoping that it was like Inferno, obviously, and we were
Yeah.
praying that it wasn't Trauma on 4K.
Or
And
the
it
card
ended up-
player.
And it ended up being the fucking card player, bro.
I would have taken anything but the card player.
What about
I
Trauma?
know. I was so upset about the card player.
I mean, I would
Come
have
on.
taken Trauma for sure over Card Player. I mean, Card Player I think it's my least favorite
Trauma is such a
Argento
dick
film.
move though, because they already made you buy Trauma a couple of years ago. So they just
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think card player is slightly above Trauma
I mean,
for me.
yeah,
Me
I knew it
too.
was. I didn't think
Just
it was
because of
Trauma.
that reason.
But even if it was like something like Dracula 3D or even like Giallo, I think I would have been more okay with it. But like just because we've had recent releases of the other Sleepless and the card player, which I'm pretty sure Sleepless is the next title because I think they said another Argento's coming.
It's got to be Sleepless.
And they
It's
said
gotta
it's a
be.
Giallo too.
Yeah, it has to be. They probably just somehow acquired the old Scorpion
Yeah.
titles. So.
Right. Right. Which they seem to be doing a lot of lately, releasing things that other companies have released.
That's good though. That's good.
That's pretty much like this era in a
Uh,
nutshell, where just like almost every label is just releasing other people's shit.
Well, it's good for the fact of like for the people that didn't buy a lot of the old Scorpion and Code Red stuff. If they start acquiring Code Red things, I think people will be kind of happy. I mean, a lot of the old Code Red stuff, the later releases actually got pretty good. Transfers were pretty good. I mean, Tony can probably vouch for that too. He probably has a bunch of those, but I thought they got pretty good. But a lot of people didn't pick them up per se. So, I mean, if Vinegar Syndrome is going to give them new life, then I'm fine with that. I mean, I personally don't have to pick them up, but I think some people might be happy with, especially a lot of the younger collectors and stuff like that weren't into those labels before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with like the more like further back things, but like Carry 2 to me is like not a needed one.
It's a weird release. Honestly, it's a weird
Even
release.
though I do like Carry 2.
I do too.
That was one of the random upgrades that I was completely fine with because I never bought the Scream Factory Blu-ray.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But like like another thing that's annoying to me is like we're getting all four of the SYN movies that Scream Factory released,
I didn't
I hate
two
that.
a
Fuck
piece.
that.
I didn't pick that set up because I'm perfectly fine with the Scream Factory Fessenden set because it's fine. It's a nice little thin thing with 4 films. I don't need them individual. I don't need to be spending more money on. Were they 4Ks?
They are
I hope
Okay.
4Ks.
so.
The
Yeah,
sets are
that
actually really nice because it's in a hard box and they each have their own slipcase. Like it's kind of like the Scanner Cop like
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
box set that came
yeah.
out. So
That's cool.
like it's a legitimate upgrade if you're a fan of those
Yeah,
movies.
it is. It's just like I'm obviously biased because a lot of those early Scream Factories I have owned for years, you know what I mean? And I just like
Yep.
Mhm.
it's not really what I'm looking for as a collector. Like especially because I'm not a like the biggest like those aren't like my favorite movies or anything like that. So it's
Right.
Mhm.
They're like
I'm with
collection
you.
essentials, but and I like
yeah.
that I have them in like a cool little
I think Habit's
collector's
really
edition.
awesome. It's not enough for me to
I
go
think
out
the
and pick
whole
up the
set's
4K.
good.
Yeah, all 4 films are really good, and that's why I'm fine with that. Like, I don't need to upgrade those.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from. It's just they're totally fine for me in that set, and if it's nice on the shelf, I'm just like whatever.
It
Um,
makes you feel better if you're a subscriber because it's like, I'm getting it anyway. You know what I
right.
mean? So it's not
It
like
makes me feel worse as a subscriber.
really.
You're
Because
forced to
I'm
buy
get
it.
so like this is my problem with this year, honestly, is that we're getting all these Scream Factory upgrades,
I know.
and it's getting to the point where like I'm having the majority of these like Let's Scare Jessica to Death, the fucking Fessenden collection, like these movies. It's like it's getting to the point where the majority of them are just becoming upgrades for me, and I
Yeah,
would rather pick and choose what upgrades instead of just get force fed whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's like a
I wouldn't
double-edged
upgrade
sword.
those Fessenden movies. I would have
Yeah,
kept that set.
that I guess it's
yeah.
like the way that I was looking at it is like, well, I'm not like dropping money right now on it. Like I paid ahead of time and I'm just getting whatever comes. But yeah, if you're looking for new stuff and cool stuff, then yeah, I guess it does kind of suck overall. Like I mean, at the end of the day, I think we would like at the end of the year, you look at like how much of the percentage of the titles would you not have wanted to pick up or
It's something to
whatever.
factor in when you're going
Looking
to
at
renew
there,
your subscription, right? I mean, if
yeah,
they're going to keep
Hmm.
re-releasing all the Screen Factory stuff, which for older collectors like us, we have the majority of those releases already, and a lot of them I don't need on 4K. I'm not one of those guys that
the
needs to
biggest
buy everything on 4K unless I really love the movie. But something like Carrie is like the weirdest thing to me. I'm just like, I don't need that, but
the weird the best perk of the subscriber though is definitely the 50% off
yeah,
of
yeah.
the partner stuff because that has saved me like tons of money. You know what I mean?
That would be really handy for me because I collect a few of the labels on
Yeah.
there, and that would be really helpful because
I mean, every
they're
month
rather
I at
expensive
least
now.
get like 2 to 5 partner label things, I would
Yeah,
say.
right.
Yeah, like I would love that, but problem is like there's not enough like from Vinegar Syndrome that I want that I'm buying that I'm gonna pay that much
Yeah.
money up front.
Well, the company's a little bit different now. Like when we first started collecting Vinegar Syndrome, fuck over 10, 12, whatever it was, they were a different company. I mean, they're so
It
much
was
bigger
very
now.
rare they released something that had been done by another major
Exactly.
label.
They were always very original with these obscure titles and stuff. I mean, they still do release some of those things, but they're releasing the bigger budget titles. But we've talked about this before, so they can keep releasing some of the lower grade stuff and kind of keep that. But
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, I just don't think they have any money issues right now at all. But like I think that for me, it just depends on
it's not about
I'm
money
cool
issues.
with them.
It's
I'm
about
cool
bringing
with,
in a different demographic, though, too, right? Like if you release things like, I mean, the Golden
yeah,
Child's another release
they're
to
just one of
me
the
was one of the weirdest releases of all time. Like, I mean, I would have been fine with just like a standard Blu-ray. I've been like, okay, that's cool. But like a big fancy like UHD type thing, I was like, that's weird. But that whole line that Vinegar Syndrome's putting out right now is a little bit strange. Like, I mean, they got Makami on there too now. Like, these are bigger cult titles that I
Mhm.
feel like the additions are just insane for them, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like they're insane
Yeah.
additions. Like those are the type of movies I don't think that would really warrant those type of like they're expensive.
Not a
You know what
single one yet so far warrants that, but
I
I'm glad they exist.
yeah. I mean it's
Like
funny, but
maybe like Cloak and Dagger is the one that deserves it the most. Or Beastmaster.
Beastmasters was like they
Beastmaster.
nailed their first release, Beastmaster. They nailed what I thought that whole run was going to be
Well,
like.
Six Dream Samurai, when they put that out, I was so happy with that because I wanted to check that out, and I was like, that's really cool. This line's going to be awesome. Beastmaster came out, and then everything after that's been kind of like a head scratcher a little bit. Um,
I love that line. For some reason, they keep
Yeah,
releasing
that line
movies that
seems
are
to be
like my
like perfect
childhood
for you.
favorites.
oh, absolutely. Like Cloak and Dagger is overload nostalgia for me.
I really enjoyed Congo.
I like the Showgirls release. I was a fan of that one.
That Sidekicks is probably my favorite VSU of them all so far, just
Mhm.
because that movie I was
Southern
literally
Comfort
obsessed
was a
with.
VSU too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. I
Hmm.
like that movie.
Honestly, Southern Comfort, I mean, it is a studio cult classic, let's be real, but that one kind of is
Yeah,
like the most like different than all of them.
yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think,
agree.
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
one
I
of them
have
for
no
sure.
problems with the line. I think all the movies that they released have been really good. It's just some of the choice. It's just like the Golden Child just makes me laugh. I'm like, that movie got that type of release. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy.
Uh, I'm cool with like the here and there, like Carrie and stuff like that. But I'm afraid that it's gonna be too much of a percentage of the titles that they release, and that's where I'm kind of like, ugh. Like if they're releasing three titles a month under the Vinegar Syndrome proper line or whatever, and two of them are something that was released, in the last 10, 15 years by another uh label, it kind of is just like uninteresting to me.
I mean, this
Mhm.
like most of the Vinegar Syndrome titles that they've released up to the halfway point this year. I mean, a lot of these titles were upgrades for myself. Like I had other copies. I mean, I feel like Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Like, how long ago did Scream Factory put that out?
A couple of years. It really
Like,
wasn't that
Yeah, I think
it
it
long.
was
It was
like
feels
a
2021 or
it
something.
Was
feels like
it?
it feels like it's
No.
so modern. It feels like it just came out. I don't know why, but I was like, damn, that seems really quick for that to be coming out. So the dark half, that's the one I wanted to talk about. That was one that kind of pissed me off because like I'm a fan of the dark half and I'm totally fine with the Scream Factory Blu-ray. And I'm like, do I need this movie on 4K? I was like, not really. So that one was kind of like a bummer for me too. It's kind of like the Carrie
Yeah,
thing. I was like,
2019 for Scream Factory for Let's
okay,
Scare Just to Death. Yeah,
okay.
so it was
Yeah.
not that long ago.
But I mean, not everybody owns everything like we kind of do. It's like
Well,
I,
that's the thing. A lot like we are in a minority group of
right.
people
And our
at
Yeah.
this
mentality is
point.
a little bit different. So it sounds like we're bitching a lot, but it's just because we come from an old school era of collecting where we've accumulated all these films and nice additions. Like when Screen Factory actually was a good company, which they suck dick now, but like they used to release a lot of really good stuff, and we
Well,
collected
even
all
that
those.
Carrie two-pack was pretty cool back then.
I
Like,
like all those double features that they put out. So
yeah,
I thought I like
that was
the
like
actual
2015 or something.
yeah
Yeah,
like
that's the thing with me too, is like I know I'm not like the typical Vincent like target audience as much as I do like still buy their films. But like I've spent so many years just mass buying things
Mhm.
that like I'm like so much and I just like don't want to do that anymore
no,
because
you
I've like
spent so
really
many years in the Criterion closet. Look behind you, brother.
that's like not even but like honestly those are some of my best buys because I've liked like over like 95 Criterion movies I buy and but I have lots of movies and I'm sure you guys do too that just like I've like been sitting around for years that I might just like literally never watch.
I have more than all of you combined,
Yeah.
probably, of
Like
I
unwatched
okay,
stuff.
so I when I started buying, I never subscribed to Vinegar. I've been buying the packages for years and years. But when I started doing that, I made a point of every time I got the package deal in, I would watch all the movies. So I
yeah.
would
Yeah, that's smart.
when we were prepping for this show, I was going through my collection, which is I probably have 500 vineyards. It's crazy. And I was literally going through and I only found a handful I had not watched yet. And I was like, that's pretty impressive. So like I
Yeah.
actually am watching these films, but Vinegar Syndrome was putting out so many things that I was so interested because I was like, I never heard of this movie. And that's
Yeah.
to me the coolest thing in the world. If you're putting out something I've never heard of, and I'm not saying I'm like, I know everything. I have heard a lot of movies. I do a lot of reading. I may not have seen them, but I've heard of them. But if they're dropping something I've never read about or heard, whatever, I'm like, that's crazy. And they did that for so many years. And I was like, damn, that's fucking sweet. So I'd watch everything that they were putting out. And it was just, I had so much fun like prepping for the show, just kind of revisiting things and just putting out a couple recommendations and things. But
I
um,
have double the amount of unwatched as I do watched from them.
man,
Yikes.
that's
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
not close to that.
Yeah, That's pretty
I,
fucking
I've
bad.
probably watched like I've probably watched somewhere like the low 80 percentages of my
You're a
collection.
slipcover collector. That's what you are.
No, dude,
Fucking
I'm not
Like I,
even.
but
the
like I,
slips are
but like
literally collecting
Well,
dust.
dude, most of my collection of them though has come in the last like 3 years because I started buying
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Whereas like the early like couple years, I just bought the odd title, like for the first
yeah.
like most of their
Like I
existence.
remember buying Vinegar Syndrome titles before they even had slipcovers. Like I have a whole portion of my collection, and
Yeah,
they've released slipcovers for a lot of those back titles, which I'm not just gonna buy a
What?
slipcover for. I'm not
right.
doing that shit. I
The
never went
point,
and did
like,
that. So
for me, like, I've made the mistakes now, like, as a collector, of, like, getting, like, too excited and just, like, buying and buying because, like, almost maybe catching the FOMO and didn't even realize it. A lot of it
mhm.
was, like, a lot of my, like, like, the titles I've had sitting around are probably Kino titles because, like, I would just, like, go nuts during these sales and really
Yeah,
not, like, be disciplined.
I have a ton of Kino unwatched.
bro,
A
Yeah.
I
ton.
was actually literally just thinking this the other day too. I'm in my room and I was looking for some films, and I have a lot of Kino titles that I still have the wrappers on, which is crazy for me because you'd buy again Kino in abundance on the sales.
Yeah.
Like, so I have watched a lot of them for sure, but there is a
Yeah.
lot that I haven't actually checked out yet.
So
So,
I like,
but
but
yeah,
I don't want to
Kino's on
make
one of
those
those labels.
mistakes anymore. So I'm just like way choosier now.
Mhm.
And when I'm picking from not only like the sub labels, but also the partner labels, and I'm only maybe picking like two to like four of like my favorite picks for the month. It's like it's harder to just
Yeah,
land in those couple picks.
I know my lane
Yeah,
though too. Like I was going through the partner label stuff, and when Culture Shock was there, I think I've watched every movie that it before they left, except for like one or two. And then I was going through the Saturn's Core stuff, and I've watched the majority of the release, and they're almost up to what 50 now. They must have 50 releases. I've watched a ton of those, and
Yeah, they're almost like one a month. It's like rare that they
yeah,
even miss a month. It's awesome.
yeah,
yeah,
and they
pretty
just seem to
much.
release really fun stuff. V8 Shitfest is another one. I've pretty much checked out all the films that they've released, but and so on and so on. So I have been making a point of watching a lot of the partner label stuff too, but I've really downsized the stuff that I've been collecting from the partner labels too. It's just a few labels that I do with the odd one here and there and stuff, but those are very specific releases. So I've been keeping up. It's not too bad. Like the collection, I've always been somebody that I do. I've had comments in the past like, you don't watch any of your movies. And I'm like,
Yeah,
actually,
you
I do.
watch a lot of your
Actually, I
movies.
do. I try
Yeah,
to peg them out of the collection and stuff. Like, I do have a bunch of Mondos I haven't watched yet, but
yeah,
I usually save a lot of Mondos and Severance and stuff for like 31 days. Like I was actually just putting my list together a couple days ago. I was adding lists to this things I was thinking about. I'm like, I'm going to do this for 31 days. I'm going to do this movie, this movie, this movie. So I was kind of
yeah,
picking out things, and sometimes I will purposely save movies for 31 days.
yeah.
Just that's just the way my mind
Yeah,
works.
I like
Yeah, I
doing
do
that
that.
too.
I do that too with challenges. Like I talk about it. Sometimes I like it resets at September 1st is my deadline every year. But I pick 101 movie from the last 100 years representing each year, and I like to like use that to like hit movies I haven't watched in my collection. So sometimes like I'll buy a
Yeah,
movie that like qualifies like for a year I need like on a Kino sale and be like perfect. I'm saving that for the challenge.
Yeah.
right. Um, but besides that, I think that like I feel like the releases have been a little underwhelming. What did you guys think of like actually like this most recent releases?
I thought these were actually really good. I
I
thought the
was a
partner
lot
labels were
happier this
yeah.
month. A
Yeah,
lot
I thought
happier.
I ended up, finding maybe one or two things I was happy with during the halfway sale or not the sale, but like the halfway releases. And
Hmm.
yeah, those were really underwhelming for the event it was supposed to be. But I thought this month was honestly really good. Same thing with the partner labels. I thought the partner
Hmm.
labels were really good this month.
Yeah, there were like three titles that I wanted that I just didn't have in
Yeah.
my cart.
Yeah, I ended up passing on like two that I wanted. Like, yeah, I just like was like, there was this sale this month, there was that sale last month. I got Wasteland coming up. I can't just like, I'm not
Right.
just gonna
I
like,
dropped like $200 on
yeah. That's what I mean. It's
Severin.
like, I'm not just gonna buy two more movies full price because I want them. Like, I can wait.
I
Yeah.
feel so spoiled. Like, what's a full price to you, Tyler? I don't even know what like normal
So like,
people
that's
pay
the
for these
thing. So
movies.
like, let's say it's like a Blu-ray from a partner label. Like not like a crazy release, but like your standard release. It's probably somewhere anywhere from like $25 to $30. And then so
Yeah.
I'm always buying that unless it's like a movie I'm absolutely not buying. Like I'm buying the main review like fuck it like 90% of the time. So like for me to just like also buy like another $30 movie, like unless it's something I really like want will watch right away, like I'm just not doing it. I'll just wait till there's a sale.
Yeah, it's
Like,
rare that we pay for over 30 for anything.
And
Like the
sometimes I'll
thing,
for
get close.
example, dude,
it's a
that
VSU. That's it.
Man,
yeah.
I wish I could say the same thing, man. It's like here's an example. Like this is a Canadian fund, so it's obviously a little
Well,
less. You guys,
you're actually the dumbest one out of everybody because you buy so much of it. You should
You
just
buy the monthly packages almost every month.
I
And you've
didn't
probably
think
been doing that for years and
But
years and
like
years.
a cinematograph though, it's
so
gonna
this
be like
month I
over
didn't
forty
because
dollars for
I
me.
didn't want those cinematograph or whatever the fuck titles.
those actually look like some of the better ones they've
Yeah,
done.
Yeah, I
I'm just
thought
done with
that
the.
I thought the Paul Morrissey movie was honestly was gonna end up being the main review.
I was trying to push one for main review this time.
I'm waiting for standards for all the cinematographs now.
Like I didn't even get the like just the VS package because I didn't want the Fessenden set. So I just picked and choose. I got Sergeant Kabuki Man and Playroom, which looks pretty interesting. Got Shooter McGavin in it.
I'm
Um,
stoked for that movie.
I know that
It
looks
looks
pretty.
fucking awesome.
I will literally just watch anything with Shooter McGavin in it.
But Robo
So
Warriors
such
from Archive, I'm like
dude, I'll watch
nice.
anything with him.
Castle of Evil, like there were some good titles, but yeah,
I'm
like
ever just looking at like some random movie and I see Christopher McDonald's in the cast. I'm like, ooh, I have
yeah.
to watch this.
so I picked up the Distrip Picks or whatever the fuck that label is,
Hmm.
which is the one sub label we like never even mention ever.
Yeah.
JP, did you buy like the slipcase edition?
No. Did you?
Yeah. No, of course I didn't. Because the difference between the slipcase version and the
I was
regular
bringing
version was like 12 fucking
that's
dollars.
why I
Yeah,
brought it
dude.
up.
What?
So
On
the
Yeah.
regular price with the like slip cover was $37 for the double feature. With the discount and without the slip cover, it was $18.99.
What the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah, for me it's $46 with this. I'm assuming that's a slipcover edition.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
fucking took that
standard for
slip
us was
cover off
$19.
so quick. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this?
That's
Right.
wild.
What a ripoff.
I know, like
It's just like the
$12 for
Nightmare on
fucking
Elm Street
slip.
Steelbook box set. It's
Yeah,
like
Dude, I was
twice as
like,
much just for the
I
shitty
know.
packaging.
fucking
I know,
stupid.
but I hate steelbooks, but I hate that other set too. So I'm like, I don't know what to do.
So that was
Buy the
basic.
standard and get custom packaging. That's what I'm going to do.
So I
Yeah.
thought this month was pretty good, man. There's some pretty good partner label stuff. But last month, what do we have? We had Mac and Me, the Rage Carry 2, Card Player, Youngery, the Nick Millard Action Collection,
That's actually a really good release.
the Nick Millard one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I know.
think
I was
that's it.
super.
I watched their little video where they talked about like all the films and stuff, and I just thought it was like really dope
Well,
looking.
after I reviewed the Nick Millard stuff last month with his made for TV trailers that he did, like action shit, I was like, I'm so excited to watch this shit, man. It's gonna be awesome. What was it? Fire
They're
Maidens
all
from
shot
Outer
on film
Space.
too.
Yeah, yeah. And then a couple of cinemagraphs. We had a new Leaf and We're No Angels and Five Dead on the Crimson Canvas.
Yeah.
That was an interesting release. I completely had forgotten about the movie. Like I actually own the old DVD of that. And when they announced, I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot about that." It's like it's a Neo Giallo.
Yongari.
It's a Neo
That
Giallo.
was one of the oldest DVDs on my Amazon wish list.
That's crazy. I remember
Wow.
I picked up mine. I don't remember when I bought it, but knowing I picked it up on the whim that it was going to be a decent like Neo Giallo because you don't really hear the term a lot. I always want to say Neo Noir when you say Neo. But Giallo from '96, it's lower budget and stuff. I don't remember it well. I think I remembered liking it, but I'll obviously be revisiting when because it's your review. Come on, yeah.
Yeah, it's mine.
When you guys ordered, do you do it through the app?
No, I just on the website.
I just did it
Well,
through
I
the
had
site.
to this time because you were
Dude,
pressuring me
the
as I was
app-
working. I was in the cab going back to the depot, and I'm like making my order on the app.
I'm not
like, fuck.
telling you to order. I'm just telling you to pick.
Well, I wanted to get my order in anyways because
I forgot they had
flyers
an
to do.
app, honestly.
Dude, the app fucking sucks for me all the time. Like it just freezes. It
I
doesn't
don't like it either.
it doesn't like I'll click on my cart and everything will be gone. Like it's just the app is torturous when I'm trying to order from the app.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to throw out I did resubscribe to TerrorVision for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are changing the price points for that and like raising the prices a bit. So, but if you subscribed, you got like grandfathered in. So
Yeah, the last
that's
chance
cool.
is tomorrow on the 9th
Yeah.
yeah.
before the prices go up.
So I went ahead and resubbed. I think a really fun label right now. Used to be a partner label for those listening. But they sort of broke off and started doing their own thing. They're very similar to Vinegar Syndrome. Like the packaging, like everything is like very similar to me.
Well, the
But
dude,
they
well,
have
the
a
dude that
Brad Henderson.
used to work for Vinegar
yeah,
Syndrome.
right, exactly.
Yeah, so they got that
Um,
whole thing going on.
I think I'm
but
learning that he was probably the reason why I love Vinegar Syndrome so much. Because
it's
like I'm so
possible.
fucking high on TerraVision
Well,
right now. I love that label.
yeah, those guys released some good array of obscurities, and actually
Yeah,
they're all over the fucking place. To be honest, it's an
You see
interesting
what they're
label.
announcing tomorrow?
what?
Tomorrow they're announcing an 80s slasher or UHD and an 80s slasher or supernatural slasher Blu-ray. They're starting their 13 weeks of October tomorrow.
In
Hopefully, those will
August?
be ready to go for Wasteland
Yeah,
because they
well,
announce shit, but then it doesn't come out forever.
yeah,
Mhm.
well, they talked about that one time they announced like 90 titles
I
or
know,
some
yeah,
crazy shit. They're like
The
biggest
biggest
mistake
mistake
ever.
of their lives.
Yeah.
150
Uh,
titles. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing, man?
but the Gator Bait 1 and 2, I'm really hyped for that. That was the kind of the thing that pushed me back to subscribe because I've always loved Gator Bait. I've never seen the second one.
It's not
That's
as good
what
as the
made me
first
sub
one.
too.
Yeah,
But Gator Bait is a title I've been saying for years needed like a Blu-ray or something like
yeah, it's
that.
got that old shitty fucking like crappy
Cheesy
full screen
flicks or something.
DVD. Yeah, I don't need. It's like total budget company. Yeah,
The subbing to TerraVision is like insane value because if you sub, you'll get that Gator Bait double feature for like 22.50.
Yeah, and
hmm
even less for
Otherwise,
me.
it's like $65 to buy that shit.
Yeah, I think it's like 21.50 for me
Yeah.
because I did the 20 tier. Did you do the 10?
Yeah, I did the 10.
I literally thought about doing like the $1,000 tier just
Should
so I
have.
wouldn't have to worry about it for a while. I thought about it, but and
Even
also I
their
gotta say their customer service, like the lady that like sends like the emails and stuff, she's super sweet and nice as well. It's very like
Mhm.
personal.
Yeah, and they like customize the deal and stuff. Like I had already put in pre-orders and stuff before I subbed. And she like noticed that and she was asking if I wanted to like cancel orders and move things over to like my subscription and all that. It was really
Or
cool.
like start your subscription later or something.
I'm actually kind of
Hmm.
happy that Severin's last announcements weren't that great. So I won't end up spending like $800 at their table at Wasteland. I can go over
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna buy
I
like
can go
one
to
thing.
TerraVision and spend some money over there.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
still need
collected a
to
bunch of
get
titles
me a
last year, but
copy of the Rumpelstiltskin. I did miss out
yeah,
on the
me too.
shoestring slashers as well.
I have
Oh,
like
is it
way
totally
less.
gone?
I
Yeah.
think it is. Yeah.
Like they're not pressing it up again?
Nope. The only thing that they said that they might do a repress of is that Phantom Brother movie because they outright own the rights to that movie. But yeah, they
Oh,
said they're not going to put the other two out.
oh, I thought shoestring was going to be available. That's
That
fucking
actually sold
lame.
out really fast.
Yeah, of course. Well, that fucking sucks. I'm getting so annoyed at this shit, dude. This whole Nightmare on Elm Street thing has got me on edge. I'm just so pissed off at this. I just don't understand what is so fucking hard about putting out that set that they're doing in steelbook form as keep case form. Why not just do it
Because it's fucking the studio and they think that steelbooks are what people like. They don't understand like the collector mentality at all,
I
bro.
watched the whole interview with the dude from WB today on Planet CHH, and he said, "Yeah, it's completely all sold out right now. So you can just obviously." He said that the standard case thing is going to be around forever, whatever. But there might be an opportunity to they're going to repress around Black Friday, and then maybe around the Christmas time they're going to maybe do two more pressings if there's interest. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, people are still looking
There's
for it now,
interest now, you fucking
and
idiots.
I'm like, why
I
steelbooks?
guarantee that they do a version that's not steelbook. I guarantee it. So I would hold if you I might even hold off and not buy the
So
full
that was one
case.
of the questions that they went through every single fucking thing in this interview or this conversation, and that was the one thing that never got brought up. But I was kind of pissed off about. I wanted to know if they were going to do that same kind of set, but just in keep case form.
It's
It
Freddy.
never
There
got.
will always be another set
They did,
forever.
but he did confirm that they're not going to release any of the titles solo. Those are not being released.
Well, they already
Okay,
released the first one, so
yeah, just the first one. They're not going to release any of the other ones. The other thing
Sure.
was so there's going to be two minor pressings No, he actually went into a whole spiel about it. The reason why they're not doing it is because people are going to buy 2 and 3, and then they're going to have a backlog of fucking 4, 5, and 6. No one's going to buy those, and
They'll do it eventually. They always do.
Maybe, but
it might be 5 years down the road, but
he said
somebody will come in there and do it.
He said that so they're going to they're probably going to be another short little limited repress of the Steelbook set around Black Friday, and he's like 250 to 300 copies, and then maybe another one at
Shut the fuck up.
That's literally what he said. I'm like, how fucking limited was this original run? Because I was never able to even order one. I couldn't find one website that actually was able to order from. It sold out in like 5 minutes. I'm like, this is fucking insane. I wasn't
ordering shit unless I get to look at it first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there was no fucking
blind
image
faith
there
in
first.
anything.
Yeah,
it was sold out before that even came out.
I think the Zavi said it might be a little bit different because he was talking about like how the artwork for part 2 wasn't even on the website, and people were asking him like, why isn't the artwork on there? And he's like, well, it's because it kind of got censored. It's basically the scene where Freddy's like ripping his fucking face off and shit. I'm like, okay, I kind of get that, but like, I just don't understand why it's not being released in standard MRA cases. Why Steelbooks? Fuck off with this shit. I'm so pissed off. I don't want a standard edition with 7 discs stacked on each other because we already have that shitty set before. I know this is an upgrade. It's 4K. We get the part 5 uncut, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want that fucking little slimline shit again. Like, it's bullshit. I'm just so happy I bought the DVD set back in 1999 because it's still one of the best DVD sets ever released.
The snapper cases.
It is. It's fucking bullshit, man. I'm just so pissed off with this whole thing. It makes no sense to me. Why they wouldn't do, and it's cheaper to produce the standard cases than it is Steelbooks. You could sell for cheaper. You would sell a lot more. I don't understand the business profile behind this at all. It makes no sense. Do they honestly think that everyone's into Steelbooks? I know like 4 people that love Steelbooks. Well,
apparently
people.
Everybody is into fucking Steelbooks.
No, they just want
like 2 seconds.
But they want the movies. I don't really think a lot of people care so much about it as much as like I do, because I'm not a big Steelbook fan. And
I think Steelbook box sets are like the worst idea because every time you like pull it out, it's going to be rubbing the Steelbook off of the other ones.
They're probably slotted. They're probably
slotted. Yeah, they're slotted. Yeah, there's foam.
I'm pretty sure they're slotted. Yeah. Which would make a lot of fucking sense. But
yeah,
I just don't get it. It's so much easier.
And the thing about Steelbooks that suck a lot too is if like the inside that like holds the disc like breaks or something, like you're fucked.
Yeah, there's no replacement for that. No, I know.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. I've never had a Steelbook go out like that.
I haven't either. Happened. That's why I mentioned it.
I don't know.
Damn, that's kind of terrifying.
But like, really, you're gonna do 2 more probably pressings of 250 to 300 copies? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's gonna be
that is so stupid.
He's probably just fucking saying that it's gonna be like 250,000.
I don't know.
They're literally holding like collectors by the balls.
Yeah, this
holding this damn collection hostage.
This whole situation is crazy to me, man. It's like
it's wild.
Yeah. So,
but
Freddy's Nightmares not happening.
Did they ask that?
Yeah. Well, they're not even porting over because in the original little slimline case thing that
there's a couple episodes.
There's a couple episodes. Those aren't even being ported over.
Yeah.
Why can't they just put a DVD set out?
Like I don't know why they
DVD.
Like, is it just? I don't understand.
It's music rights.
Music rights? Is that why?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Wonder Years and Daria had that problem forever, and they eventually got released with some music.
They released it 99.9% of the original music or something like that. There was like one little piece they couldn't clear.
Is what they said.
Yeah, it was like
what sucks about the Wonder Years is that the one they couldn't clear is the intro song.
Was it?
But honestly, most TV
that was
series,
it.
Right. Oh, yeah. Like most TV series like from that era, you have if you buy the DVD sets, it's usually not the original music. It really isn't. They can't clear that shit. Like for instance, like I don't know, you guys probably never watched, but 90210 from the 90s. If you buy the DVD sets, like all the music is like not original music, and it's weird when you watch it, you're like
same with Supernatural.
Really?
They use a lot of like classic rock songs on that show, but it's literally fucking royalty free fucking like generic butt rock on the DVDs.
Yeah, that's what it is on the 902. It's the same shit, dude. I'm just like watching. I'm like, what the fuck? This is so cornball. But Anyways, yeah, I don't want to get into nightmare now. That thing has been bugging me for like a couple weeks. I'm just like, holy shit, dude. I just can't get over it. I just want keep cases, bro. It's so
What
easy.
the fuck you mean you don't want to get into it? We just spent 20 minutes
I
talking
know.
about it.
I've been raging about it, dude. It just drives me nuts that like steelbooks is the thing again. Remember 10 years ago when people were like freaking. I remember one dude on YouTube.
When they first came out, I thought they were pretty cool looking. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's the future.
There was
But then
one
when
guy.
I actually got some, I was like, I don't like these.
I can't remember what the fuck that guy's name was on YouTube, but he like sold off all of his like keep cases and bought everything in steelbook. His whole collection was just steelbooks.
I remember by
It was
I do
crazy,
remember
dude.
that guy,
It was
yeah.
crazy.
It's
And then
stupid.
he like got bored of it and he sold all his fucking steelbooks and started buying all the movies back. Keep cases.
I
It's like, oh
remember
my
at a
god, dude.
Kino sale one time, like they only had the fucking like the steel book of Rawhead Rex was like cheaper than the fucking regular disc version. So I got a fucking stupid Rawhead Rex steel book.
That's funny. That's funny. I
And
think I have a couple steelbooks like that too, actually.
I only own like maybe 20 or something steel books. Like my favorite one is probably like the Dark Sky Chainsaw one. That was like the first one I ever bought. It's still sealed. And
I think a couple of the nicest steelbooks I have like the Demons 1 and 2 ones that Snaps put out way back in the day. Those things are fucking beautiful. Those are really nice ones. I
yeah,
ne-
I saw
those
that Demons double that Arrow put out in Steelbook.
yeah.
they should
Those
go
like
back and do
black.
some instead of steel books, they should do some tins. Tins are cooler than steel books.
Fuck no, they're not.
No,
Yeah.
they're a lot
Bulky
flimsy.
ass like Anchor Bay tins
I
that you
like
could
them
just
though,
like
dude. Those
they look
things were
like cookie
cool,
tins and they
bro.
have
They
like
were cool.
dumbass. Oh, I hated those
Moodz
things.
has them all.
They're awesome displayed. I have all of them actually like displayed in my room. They're pretty cool, but yeah,
Yeah,
they're bulky. They're fucking bulky. But yeah, fuck
yeah.
this Nightmare on Elm Street shit. Um, Getting back to thoughts on the year. Like how do you think that Vinegar Syndromes would do? Like for Vinegar Syndromes titles themselves. Like so, what they've released this year.
I don't think it's been bad
Like they've
for
released
like
good titles, but like overall, like Deranged, you got Curse of the Devil with the Vampires Night Orangey, the with Demon Witch Child, the Seventh Curse, Witch from Nepal set. We got the Carpenter, White Cannibal Queen, the Possession of Joel Delaney, Brimstone and Tranquil, Devil Fetus and Her Vengeance double feature, Forgotten Jelly Volume 8, which was a pretty interesting set actually. Murder Rock, The Nesting, Devil Doll, Curse of Voodoo double feature, Let's Scare Jessica to Death, The Dark Half, Dirty Work, and Jade. So far through this, how do you like that lineup? I mean, me personally, the only movies in here that I wasn't like upgrading or side grading or whatever was Brimstone and Tranquil. I'd never seen that before,
Same.
and I did watch it, and I know that I found out people really like that. I did not like that movie. I wasn't into it.
I have not watched that yet. I'm gonna watch that for the end show.
It's got Sting. It's starring Sting. Sting's fine, and I just didn't really care for the movie itself.
the wrestler or the musician.
I wish it was a wrestler. I would have watched that immediately.
The musician.
I wish it was the wrestler.
No, the wrestler wasn't around when this movie was made for sure.
For me personally, though, like I'm mostly stoked about like their Asian output over anything.
I mean, we've all kind of said that since we started the show. Like the Asian stuff has been pretty like they don't do a bad job with the Asian stuff. There's always some cool Asian shit they're releasing.
Oh man, Devil Fetus and Her Vengeance. Come on, man, that was awesome. Seven
Yeah,
Curse,
that was
Witch from
actually a
Fall.
really solid release. Now
Yeah.
that I look back at it,
Mhm.
I did like that release a lot.
Yeah.
Murder Rock, I'm good with because I like just seeing the best versions of like the legends, like the
Yeah.
Masters of Horror release. So,
Yeah, I'm really happy to have that on 4K.
When it comes to
Yeah.
Fulci, man, I'm totally a horror when it comes to collecting his shit. So I'm totally fine with that too. Like I will always try to buy different editions of shit. And that's like my fourth or fifth copy of Murder Rock, which I wasn't disappointed. But for other people, I could see them being like, really another copy of Murder Rock? But it is.
I
what
mean,
it
White
is.
Cannibal Queen kind of sucked. The Carpenter was a great release.
Yeah. Yeah. That
'Cause
was
that's
yeah,
one
that
we
was
just
good.
Didn't have.
that was a good upgrade, man, because I only had I had the older Scorpion DVD, and I did honestly kind of forgot about the film potentially being released on Blu-ray. I'm like, this is awesome. So it's fun.
I also really enjoyed the triple feature, the Curse of the Devil, Vampire Night Orgy, and Demon Witch. I
Mhm.
watched all three of those,
Mhm.
and it was a nice little triple feature, and I like that one.
They were definitely all really good upgrades. They all look really good.
Mhm.
The
But
Seventh
yeah,
Curse.
I might say that I like this year a little bit better than last year.
I would have to compare. I was trying to
The
think of it, but I think
Yeah, that's a directly
well,
comparing.
the other page you can pull it up and we have them all listed. The page
oh
right
yeah,
next
we
to it.
do actually. Here's some, but I don't know where the cutoff was. But anyways,
What do you mean? They're all fucking labeled
oh yeah,
cut off.
the dates here, right?
Yeah, I would say the Seventh Curse and the Witch from the Pole is kind of a letdown release, especially like Moodz. I'm sure you have the special edition 88 film Seventh Curse set.
I do actually. Yeah.
So me too. And then you get this one, you're like, it literally pales in comparison. Like it might look better, but Seventh Curse to me is just a movie that's so good it just deserves the good treatment. And just
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
pairing it with Witch from the Pole deserves so much better than that.
I know.
yeah.
It's like yin and yang, right? It was literally like
Mhm.
an A plus to a D. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how you can do that, but yeah, that was kind of a
Yeah.
disappointment. But
I would put it on par with last year. Like I think last year might slightly edge it out
it was
with
kind of like Chinese Torture Story, right? When you actually think about that release compared to last year's Chinese Torture Story, we all love the first one. The second one is kind of like it's a totally different entity,
mhm.
but yeah, just not as good kind of thing. But
Yeah,
um,
that one made sense though, because it's like I can't even imagine in a world where they would put a Chinese torture chamber story 2 as a standard release by itself. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
it's like they had to put it with the first.
Well, now that I'm looking at last year's titles, I do like last year a little bit better here, man, because it's
If
got
you're
like
just looking up until May,
yeah, like I'm looking up to like Spectres and Maya here. We got Witch Story. Those are like two of my favorite releases in years from Vinegar Syndrome. Lady
mhm.
Reporter, Charlie O'Brien, China O'Brien 1 and 2 was really fun. Homegrown Horrors Volume 3 was cool. Invasion USA is my favorite Norris film, so that was amazing to get. Criminally Insane. What else do we have? Sanet 1 and 2. That was a really interesting double feature that they did.
Hmm.
Forgotten Jolly 6 was a good set. I love the Horrible Dr. Hitchcock. So like there's a lot of movies in here that I was really fond of from last year. But Witch Story and Myers, Spectres and Maya were like the big sellers for me. I love my Italian shit, and those are awesome. Like,
They have some
Yeah.
highlights for me, but overall, yeah, I think it's mostly like pretty fine films. There's not a whole lot that like jumps out at me that like makes me like think like this is like a great year.
I don't even have to look at last year's list to know that last year was better because this year is the first year since becoming a subscriber that I'm actually thinking about not subbing next year because of all the upgrades.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel you.
I just feel like it's not going to slow down with that either.
Yeah, I don't either.
All their
I think
interesting titles are now put on their little fucking sub labels, and it's annoying the shit out of me.
Right.
yeah.
So now I have to pay for those
I
anyways.
would I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, it seems like all the best all the most interesting titles from Vincent's we have like the sub-label paywall against it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'll keep subscribing as long as we do this show, unless it gets horrible, just because it's easier and cheaper for me. But you know,
Yeah, I can't imagine going from 50% off to paying like what normal
it would
people pay
hurt.
after that.
That's my biggest concern, right? Like
I don't want
the
to do
actual,
that.
Price.
yeah, especially because like a lot of the times we do review like a lot of the sub label or partner label stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk about the Cinematograph line. Not really
Okay.
huge
They seem
fan of
like they
that.
got a little life. I feel like their last few titles are like more interesting than a lot
I'm actually getting rid of like
have
most of
been.
mine. I'm gonna bring them down to my buddy and sell them off to him.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of like there's no point in me having some of these for as
No, I'm not
expensive as they
gonna.
are.
I just don't need them. The
I'll probably
VSA
keep
so
like
far, they've only released 3 this year: Crack House, Igor and the Lunatics, and the Iron Angels trilogy. Which so far that's pretty good. 2 out of 3 releases are awesome. Tony, did you watch the rest of the Iron Angels?
Tony is
Oh
doing
shit,
something else right now.
sorry. I'm not. I have my screen up. What for VSL? We got the Terranauts, Mansion of Madness, Belly of an Architect, and Charlie One. I've only watched 2 of those.
Have
Um,
you watched?
Mansion of Madness, I absolutely hate that movie.
Yeah,
It is
The
so,
Terranauts, I started watching it back when it came out, and I was liking it, but I never got back to it.
mhm. Yeah, and Charlie One I was pretty cool, but I can't speak on the other 2. So I mean, decent, I guess. The Geyser, Ice 38 Special, and Criminally Insane 2.
Not bad for the Geyser. Not as good as last year. Last year's the Geysers were a lot of
Yeah, no,
fucking awesomeness.
definitely better last year.
Yeah, and
VSP, they've only done
just the
Street
one.
Trash,
Yep.
and then VS.
I haven't updated up in past May. Just, just so
Right.
you're aware.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is what we're going to be covering on the show, anyways, up to May, right? Because it'll be June.
Right.
Yeah, right. So, and then VSUs, we got Virtuosity and the Golden Child, and of course, I mean, there's later on Macamee and stuff like that, but it's not eligible for this top five because it came out after. But
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like last year is a little bit stronger overall for sure. Definitely in the Geyser way, in the Geyser field for sure. Tony, did you
Yeah.
watch the rest of the Iron Angels?
Yeah, I watched all three of them.
Man, they're all solid. Did you like them?
Dude, I fucking love that whole series, dude.
Dude,
They
it's so much
remind me
fun.
of like the Andy Sedaris like Bullets, Bombs, and Babes like
Yeah.
franchise, except just like Hong Kong style.
Hmm.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah, because like they have that Hong Kong humor in them, but it's like overly goofy. But there's really awesome action sequences, and like the girls in those films are batshit, dude. Awesome. I wish the
Hmm.
girl that was in the first two was in the third one too. That would have been awesome because she had some pretty good scenes, especially in the second one. But overall, insanely solid. Like all of them are like about the same, like 7.5, eights, 8 out of 10. Like they're all really good films, man. They're fun.
Hmm.
So, also, just like a heads up, I didn't actually watch much extra for like this top five. So this is mostly stuff that I've already watched. I usually will dig way deeper at the end of the year list.
Hmm.
Realized I forgot to watch Curse of the Voodoo. Like looking at this list,
Yeah, end of the year list
because that's
last
one I
year.
haven't seen before. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I
Whoops.
watched like everything I bought last year I hadn't watched, so that was a good way to plow through that.
Yeah, I
Nice.
watched a good bit last year.
So everything I own, I've watched. Like, oh my god, dude, I can't even stress how much I hated Mansion of Madness. Like that movie was so much torture to get through. It
I
was.
haven't watched it because I saw what your rating was.
Oh my god, I was like, this is the worst shit I've seen in so long. It was terrible. It was fucking terrible. Oh man, I could not get into that film, man. It was bad. So yeah, that one's actually one of the worst releases I've probably seen from Vinegar Syndrome. It's horrible.
What are you more sad about, that or White Cannibal Queen?
Oh god, those are two of the worst. Those are two of the worst that they've done in years. But White Cannibal Queen, at least I can get some enjoyment out of that. Where Mansion of Madness, like I don't think there's even one positive I could even mention. It's that bad. It was bad.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's bad. So, ugh. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's Vinegar Syndrome in 2025 up until May, right? So that's what's eligible for this top five list. So
All
yeah,
right.
I mean, I think personally, I think last year's a little bit stronger, but it's still got some hitters and heaters this year. So, but we'll see what the second half brings because I think that there's going to be some good shit dropping. So, looking forward to it. Just get the
Yeah,
fuck off the
hopefully.
Cinematograph line. Jesus Christ, they're dropping so many of those. It's like blowing my mind. Like everyone I talk to doesn't like that line. So I don't understand. Like, are they
That's a
selling
shame
it?
too, because some of the titles like honestly seem like interesting enough to me, but for the price
There's
that they
some
are,
definitely
absolutely
good.
not.
Yeah, there's definitely some good titles in that line. But there's also some ones that are horrible. But I always forget the price is so bad. Um, because I think I mean it's still not a great price for me. It's like 30 or something.
Right. It's bad for subscribers. Can only imagine what it is for non.
They fluctuate in
It's
price. Like
40.
those things
Yeah,
will be like
it's
45
It's
to like
it's like
58 to like 50. Like they're all over the place, those
the
prices.
Insane.
Blu-rays are
Y'all pay that much for
25,
that.
25 for us, the
probably
Blu-rays.
35
Yeah,
for
I
us,
think one of
probably
the newest ones
32
like
or
like
something.
58 for me or something like that. One of the ones I didn't pick up and I was like 58
Good
bucks. I'm like,
fucking God.
so that's probably
40
like
is 40
that's
for
probably
me.
like that's probably like 42 for you or something like that. But that's still
That's
crazy, right?
40 for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's
I don't
fucking
know.
nuts.
People online seem to love the line, but people that we actually know seem to not like it.
Yeah,
I
every
think
comment that I had on my last video, like, man, like
I think
nope.
people legitimately are watching some of these. They just like the way they look.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get into these top fives?
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's get into these first half top five Vinegar Syndrome / partner label releases. I don't have. Did you guys order yours? Did you actually rank
I
them?
ordered mine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
ranked
ranked
mine.
mine.
Well, fuck, because I didn't.
Well,
And you go
It's a
first, don't
top
you?
5, bro. What do
I
you
know,
mean?
but it's like it's so hard to like. All right, all right. So this is what we'll do here. Here, just give me 1 second here. You guys talk amongst
One.
yourselves.
Your second is up.
Oh, for fuck's
Um,
sakes!
no, but like, uh, yeah, I assume everybody included both Vinegar Syndrome and partner label stuff.
I did because I only
Yeah,
buy a sampling every month from anyone, so it wouldn't make sense
Yeah,
for me to just pick BS.
gotcha. Um, what else? Any honorable mentions, or are we just doing 5?
Well, I've got an honorable mention since I brought it up to decide last minute which one I was gonna pick.
I didn't do any honorable mentions.
I brought one, but you don't
Yeah,
have to. It is what it is.
I got
Okay.
one.
Okay, so I guess that'll be my quick little ranking here. Okay, so I'll just rip through this. We've talked about all these movies and stuff, so I don't have to elaborate on these. If you guys want to hear in-depth reviews of these, we've covered all these in depth. So, at number 5 here, we got the Devil Fetus, Her Vengeance. Really solid. Devil Fetus being the better film, obviously, than Her Vengeance, in my opinion, but very very solid release here. So, got to give it up to the Asian films here. So yeah, Devil Fetus, Cat 3. Every time we do Cat 3 stuff, it doesn't do good. It's weird. It's so weird.
Hmm.
Always does the worst on here. In at number 4 is
People are racist.
Marcus Cook's Rots. Shot on video classic from 99, I believe it is. But this release itself is just outstanding. Like there's so much info, so many great features on here. Saturn's Core literally is boss players when it comes to features. Like everyone always talks about Arrow, how
They
have so
are.
many features stuff. But if you read through the features, like it looks like you have a booklet of them. There's not as many. Like this is all features. It's crazy. So everything you need
And
to
they
know about the
always
film.
usually come with a book too.
Yeah.
On top
So
of that.
amazing release, awesome fucking movie too. It's like one of my favorite shot on video films. It's a ball of fun. So check out the full review on that one. But brought in at number 4. And at number 3 is Brian Pollan's Bone Sickness. Again, another one from Saturn's Core. Phenomenal release. Such a fun movie. So ambitious. Shot on digital video, I guess is what it is. But crazy amounts of features and stuff. Just an amazing release. Love this one. Huge Brian Pollan fan. I'm so happy that his films are starting to get these type of releases. I hope they actually put out the rest of them too. Wouldn't that be amazing? We get like all his other films. It would be fucking like Fetus. You get
I'm
Fetus
waiting.
and Blood. Oh, it'd be so.
I mean, it
awesome.
definitely
for all
seems
those.
possible.
Yeah, I think so too.
Him
I mean,
and
why-
Eric Stanzi. I want all his shit too. They like stopped putting his stuff out.
right, that would be
Mhm.
awesome, right? Because they
Waiting
did
for Ice for the Sun.
because they did Scrapbook, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
just that and Savage Harvest, and that's it.
In Savage Harvest, right? Exactly. In at number 2 is the Iron Angels trilogy, which we were just discussing.
I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about
This
that one.
I'd never seen.
There's
any
a
of these
standard
movies.
of that out now, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Good.
Is there, dude?
Yep.
That thing sold out quick.
Yeah, I'll actually pick that up because that was one I
Mhm.
was like, man, I would have like I wasn't gonna go buy. Honestly, the price isn't even that bad for that one, but it was one of those movies where I was like, I'm not gonna pay full price for this, but it's a bummer that it's sold out because I may be interested in picking that up on a sale.
I feel like you could take chances on these because most of these films that they're releasing are just awesome. They're so much fun. Like I've never watched
Except
one
for
of these.
Dal D for Demons.
Oh yeah, that's different though. Like
That
was
might be the worst VSA of
that
all
is
time.
that is the worst one, hands down. That's the worst one, man.
I was so annoyed with that review. I was just like,
Oh.
dude, this
Worst
one's-
art,
like,
too.
What am I even gonna say about this?
Everything about that release is bad.
But that's a Japanese film, right?
I was just saying VSAs.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, but yeah, Iron Angels trilogy, all 3 films, very very solid. Like a lot of the trilogies, they can start out really good and kind of teeter off or whatever. No, these ones are actually quite fun. Like they're really great. This chick right here, she's not in the third one. That's the one I was talking about. She is fucking awesome in the second one, man. But Moon, she's absolutely amazing.
Oh,
You
I
love
love
this?
Moon.
Yeah, Moon's fucking amazing. They're so much fun characters. The jokes are good. It's not too goofy, but it just everything about him is just fun. It's amazing. And in at number one here is Video Man. I did a full length review of this. It's one of my favorite films of the last few years. I absolutely love this movie. Really, really great stuff. Really, really great stuff here. Probably the only one that even picked this up. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this shit, man. So if you like cinema and synth music, that's your shit right there. So, and that one's from ETR Media. So I did have two Vinegar Syndrome titles in here. One VSA, one regular, two Saturn's Core, and ETA or ETR ETA. Don't they usually release like a bunch of documentaries and shit? Isn't that kind of the thing?
Yeah.
Is that the ETR?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a documentary. It's a really good movie. So yeah, check that one out. Love it.
Yeah, that was a pretty boring love movie that I watched.
Shut the fuck up. You're such an idiot.
A nice romance drama between two like 50-year-old drunks.
And I got one honorable mention here, which is Dirty Work. Great release. Awesome movie. Great release. The dirtier cut is definitely the way to go with this, but it's fucking Dirty Work, man. What a crazy release for straight up comedy. That's release number 504. That is wild to see on the spine. That's crazy. So yeah, Dirty Work is my honorable mention.
All right, am I next?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna start with my honorable mention, which is the film Bang the Drum Slowly, which is a cinematograph.
Oh my god.
And it's covered in plastic still.
It is open. It is open.
Okay.
I do this sort of like cut the plastic type thing.
I can't believe this guy's got a baseball movie in his top five. Crazy.
Yeah, dude, this was a drama. It's literally like a drama baseball movie about like a pitcher catcher who the catcher is played by Robert De Niro. He's kind of like slow and stupid, but he's a really good friend to the pitcher, and the catcher gets like cancer, and it's just like touching, it's a good movie. And it's like very like the baseball is just like so boring, bland baseball that it's like this is real baseball.
Shut up, man. You missed some crazy shit with the Jays in fucking Colorado this weekend. Setting records.
So that's my honorable mention. My number 5 here is Crack House, the VSA. I fucking love this movie. I'd never seen it before, but it was just tons of fun.
I considered that.
Actually, kind of like downbeat a little bit, is like kind of fucked up. So, really great movie. I really enjoyed Crack House.
Yeah, it was actually in my top 5 for a while, and I was like, it got bumped out by Iron Angels.
Yeah. My number 4 I actually don't have with me right now. But it is Her Vengeance and Devil Fetus. So
Yes.
that one is somewhere around here, but I don't know where it is. Yeah, that was a fun double feature. That we did that as a feature review, both of them, which was pretty cool. My number 3 is Deranged. Just the best this movie's ever looked. I absolutely am a massive fan of Deranged in general. And even though this is like didn't need to be released necessarily, there are other versions out there. This was an upgrade that I was like happy to make because I still had like the DVD double feature with the hell was that with?
Motel Hell.
Oh yeah, that
Motel
was
Hell,
the old fucking midnight double feature.
I think that was a worthy upgrade because like honestly, like all the Blu-rays from Kino and whoever else are pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
Arrow put it out. Arrow has features on theirs.
Okay.
So that was that was the one I had. I didn't have the other one. I had the old DVD, but this one that was like my favorite watch ever. I realized how damn fucking funny that movie is. It is like it's like the perfect level of black comedy.
I love
so
that
well.
movie.
It's
I've
so
always
funny.
loved that movie.
Yeah, it's really
great.
Good.
And then my number 2 is Bone Sickness. This one completely floored me. I thought it was like one of the coolest indie movies I've ever seen. Just tons of ambition and just it's a cool movie. Great gore and explosion, all kind of shit. It just it has everything in it. It's like so dope. But yeah, Bone Sickness from Saturn's Core there. That's the partner label one. And then my number 1 is Dirty Work. Never seen this movie before, and it just like kind of was amazing. I think it's our only or second Hall of Famer on Sin Bin.
I think it's the only.
What's the other one?
I think Sadness, right?
Sadness had to make the
Yeah,
it made 22 shots Hall, so I thought it might have made
this
Hall, but I'm not sure. Dirty Work, and honestly, like the one of the main reasons I picked this too is just because first of all, I hate this cover. I hate looking at that cover. It's so gross. Um, but the one of the main reasons I picked this title too is because at its essence, it is what I love so much about Vinegar Syndrome, where they do the impossible, right? They go and find some obscure like version of a movie that is like only like 10 people seen and released like the definitive version. They are great at doing like the definitive version of stuff. And this the backstory behind this release was super dope, and that is one of the coolest
Mhm.
things and why we love Vinegar Syndrome when they're
Yeah.
at their best. So that is my number
I mean,
one.
it's kind of the definition of like an amazing upgrade. So if you had an old DVD, you didn't get this version, but it looks amazing, sounds amazing. They got great features. Awesome. I mean, it
A
just seems
hundred
like it's
percent.
over. Like it's just like it's a comedy that's getting this type
Right.
of
That's the
treatment.
weird thing about it is
Yeah,
it's not uh a horror film or
yeah.
anything like that, but
Like how
it's
many comedies comes with like a booklet and fucking hard box and like it? You
yeah.
just don't see a lot
They
of
just
releases
showed it
like
so
this.
much love, and like the fact that like, Norm and Bob Saget both died and stuff, they were trying to get that version released. It's just like a cool, touching story.
Yeah, right. Tyler.
All right, I'll start with my honorable mention, and it's one I talked about. It's the Two Faces of Tai Kato
Who
from
starts
film
out with their
movie
honorable mention?
classics.
So now we know that's not in your top five.
Yeah, JP just did
I
too.
just did that.
I know you guys are fucking weird.
Yeah,
I know.
well, we
I
did.
just didn't say
Oh,
anything
he
when he
did.
did. I'm
Well,
like,
honorable mention
Yeah.
should be before
no, because
your
then it
list.
ruined that because it might because if
A
I had
lot of
shown
people do honorable mentions before saying the number one.
it, it's
Yeah,
because if I had shown
Okay.
this, you would have
I
known it
think that's
wasn't in
the
my top
worst place
five,
to do it.
and it probably shocked you
Mhm.
guys it wasn't in my top five. But I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but
Yeah, I
we
don't
knew
think
it
it's
It,
wasn't
it's
in your top five once you got to your number one.
okay.
yeah,
A
but
fucking Einstein
this
over here,
comes
but
this comes with by a man's face you shall know him. Oh, it's very good, but Ivy Executioner is great, and it's like actually just like a straight horror movie. So yeah, and it's double pack, so you actually get decent value for what you're paying, like I was bitching about with prices earlier. So yeah, I definitely recommend this like on a sale or something. All right, starting at number five, one we haven't talked about. It comes from VSL, and that is Peter Greenaway's The Belly of an Architect. I'm a big fan of Peter Greenaway. I mention him a lot. He's the director of The Cook, the Thief, the Wife, and His Lover, which most people probably know him for. But he makes a lot of these like really like really like posh, like high cinema, like high production value cinematography movies with like classical music. But he also like just all his movies are just horrible things happening to people. So it's like he's just like the ultimate edgelord. I love everything I seen by him. A lot of his movies don't have. He's got a couple that do, but a lot of his movies don't have the best releases. So to get one like this
so
and one that's not really
are you
talked
saying like
about.
Ruggero Deodato ripped him off, having this beautiful score with like horrific things happening in
Well, I
this
mean,
stuff?
like it's like more of like he's more.
It's
I
more
always
like
say,
filth and sleaze,
yeah,
What? How
like
old
a
is
dark
what?
underbelly.
When did that movie come out?
late '80s. What's the year on
Oh, it's
this?
later 80s. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one's
I'm
from
surprised you didn't pick
1987.
that one.
It's because this was the same. What was the other movie this month? Oh, this was the same month as Kiss of Mata. That's why.
Ah,
Because
Oh, I
otherwise,
actually
this
forgot about that title.
because
Crazy.
this would have been a slam dunk pick had like Kiss of Mana not been like released that month. But yeah, I really like Peter Greenaway. I always say Ari Aster is kind of like the modern Peter Greenaway, where he just like kind of has these like higher production value looking movies with like the wacky stuff or horrible things happen to people.
So, what is that movie
And
actually about?
it's about an architect going to, I believe it's in Italy. I believe it's Italy or Paris. I don't remember.
Brian
Um,
Dennehy, right?
Brian Dennehy, yeah,
Hmm.
Brian
Oh, that's
Dennehy's the
cool.
architect, and he's like just becomes like so like compulsive and obsessive with like the architecture and like his quest like to design there that he like his marriage falls apart while he's there, and like he starts like wasting away to some disease in his stomach, and it just like the troll like laughing fest of just watching like his demise for an hour and a half or however long this movie is, and he just really like my type of filmmaker. I like him a lot, so definitely recommend this movie. The last ones I'll talk about, so I don't gotta go on these. My number four, coming from Connie, is Between West Side. This was the 5 hour movie that I did, I believe, last time. Pretty notable. Lav Diaz is someone who I've known about. I'm really into Filipino cinema right now, so I was really happy to check this out. If a movie being 5 hours in Filipino doesn't scare you away, I recommend this. I'd recommend it to anyone. Number three, also coming from Connie, and another Filipino movie is Kiss Up Mata from Mike D. Leon. This was a Holy Grail movie to me, so I was ecstatic when this got released and had to jump on it. Number two, we got coming from Distropix. It is Last Tango in Paris. Restoration on this is insane. I think this was like a really just important movie to like bring to light and put an edition like this together for. And really what pushes this over, like we were talking about earlier, is like this is just like such a definitive version of the movie that like it's it, it's a treat to like get to have like a movie like this that like you could watch that I would definitely watch again and to have like such significance in like in such a nice edition like this. And yeah, it looks fantastic. And then finally, my number one coming from Vinegar Syndrome, it's also dirty work. It really the edition like the edition is really what pulls it over. And like you guys were talking about as well, like movies like comedies like this rarely even get good releases. It's unheard of for like a slapstick comedy like this, especially from the '90s, to get such like a giant like high quality definitive release. So
Yeah.
Damn
just
it!
for
Now I
like
know it's not your honorable mention. Fuck.
so yeah, just for like the really like the special niche this covers dirty work number one of the year.
I missed
Cool.
four of those.
All right,
Did you have Kismato on your list?
Yeah, that
yeah,
was number three.
I had a feeling.
Tony.
All right, so for me, number five comes from Degas or Video, and it's a movie that we've already talked about. It is Iced, a movie that so many people have been begging for DVD and Blu-ray for years and years and years, and we finally got it. It's stupid, it's sleazy and cheesy, and I love it.
Nice
My number
pick.
four is a movie that we have not talked about from Bleeding Skull Video from 1998's Disembodied,
I actually
which
forgot about that
So
one.
much fucking fun, man. It's one of my favorite releases of the
Yeah,
year
it
by
was a
a
good
lane foot.
release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like what a fucking surprise this movie was. Like
So
I
good.
never even heard of it before
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's literally like another basket case type movie. It's super sleazy. This woman living in an apartment, she's got a growth on the side of her head, a brain-eating parasite. Her brain's actually in a jar in the house. Like there's just so much goofy, awesome shit. Great soundtrack. I just really love that movie.
Mhm.
Number three is Iron Angels 1
Nice.
through 3 from VSA. This trilogy kicks so much fucking ass. Like I had so much fun watching this. Like the fights were so great, the comedy was cool, and they had like so much like interesting gadgetry in this. Like there's like jet packs with like equipped machine guns and shit like
Dude, the
that.
jetpacks. Oh
Like
my god, I forgot about that.
these movies are just so much fun. Like there's a lot of buildup in them that leads to like an epic like 30-minute final like
Hmm.
action set piece in each movie, and it's just so much fun.
Hmm. Yeah,
Everybody get the standard version if you have the chance. My number two from Connie is also Kiss That Mata. This movie honestly fucking floored me. It's another one I never even heard of, which is crazy that it was a holy grail for Tyler. But yeah, this movie is just so good, so chilling and just dark. And number one, just like everybody else, besides Moods, is of course Dirty Work, a movie that deserves the number one spot. So much meticulous work and love went into this release. It just deserves every accolade.
Dude, you spoiled your honorable mention.
Yeah.
oh
Fuck.
fuck.
Bet you feel like an asshole now.
That's so fucking
Your
stupid.
honorable mention should be your number one.
Damn. It happened again. His number 10 was my number one.
That is so fucking dumb. All right. Yeah, that's interesting, man. We all had quite different lists. Besides fucking Dirty Work popping up on 75% of the list, but it is what it is. Yeah, good shit though. Good shit. All right.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
shit.
it's good. All right, so getting into the solar reviews. So basically how this is going to work, we're just going to do these in blocks. Everybody might be doing these a little bit different. So how I did it, I rewatched like a ton of shit and stuff, and then I picked out a couple that I wanted to actually recommend that I'd watched before. But three of the titles that I'm talking about in here are first time watches that I just wanted to include, just things that I watched that I really liked, and I thought they'd be kind of cool because I enjoyed them for the first time. So first up here is a film from, what year did this one come out? 98. All right. So yeah, so this one is called Vile 21 from V8 Shitfest from 1998. Shot on video film that I had never even really heard of, I don't think. I think I was getting this confused with another movie. There's another movie called Vile, which came out later. But yeah, so Vile 21 is like one of those it's kind of like a how do I describe it? It's like it's one of those kind of, I wouldn't say it's a full-on like mad scientist film, but it's basically about this dude that's working in this lab, and he kind of works for the government, and he's been working on these he's doing these experiments on these meteorites and stuff. They found these meteorites and they started pulling out these like living cells and stuff like that. And so their job in this lab is to kind of create, like, I think the concept of it is they're there to like create these weapons for the government and stuff like that. But he's there for the science of it. Like he's trying to create things and stuff. So he's pulling out like all these living cells out of these meteorites and shit. Kind of turns out that they're like alien cells. And he starts, kind of his science starts progressing and stuff like that. And he wants to try it out on this cat. And he creates like this total cat monster and shit. And the bosses, like the government, they kind of get wind of this and stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy, you need to test this out on a human. He doesn't really think that his scientific methods are ready for like the humans and stuff. One thing leads to another and stuff. And there's this homeless dude that's like sitting outside the lab all the time. And he kind of gets this idea, and he's like, well, if I mix these genes together and create like this Vile 21, which he calls it and stuff, I think this is going to work and stuff. And so he tests it out on this dude, and he creates this like fucking reptile alien monster and shit. And so now they got to figure out how to stop this thing because it starts raging through the city and stuff. So my overall thoughts on this one, I was taken back by this quite a bit. So I know a lot of people might be, they might look at a film like this and be like, oh, it's shot on video. It's got this very elaborate type of narrative. There's a lot of things that are happening and stuff. And yes, there really is. This is what got me into it, man. I was like, wow, this is crazy. There's a lot of narrative. It takes about 45 minutes to kind of get into the monster stuff. This one runs about 80 minutes. But to be honest, the first 45 minutes of the film are actually quite interesting, where he's doing the tests on the cat, and you got like these government agents, and you got all this narrative that's happening, a lot of different type of locations and things like that. So it's very ambitious. And then when the monster comes, I was like, holy shit, dude. I mean, yeah, it's shot on video. It's not going to be like the craziest monster, but the monster does look really cool. The thing that took me back was the effects in this film. They use stop motion in this. There's a little bit of green screen, but there's like crazy effects that are going on. Obviously all practical. It's like 90s. But they started doing crazy stunts and stuff. Like there's a scene where the monster like terrorizes these people, and there's like a bunch of people on fire, like for real, like in a shot on video film. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Like it just kept escalating itself to the point where I was like, this is really damn entertaining. Again, lots of locations, lots of ambition. They have like an updated score on this too. The music is really fantastic in this, but I just watching this whole movie, I was like, God damn, dude. So it actually starts out in like the year 2020. And it's like, oh, he's still alive. And then it cuts back to 1995. And then, once they think they kill this thing, it kind of takes place in 2020. They realize that this monster's still alive, and they have to go, and figure out how to kill this thing once again, kind of thing. And so it kind of jumps around a little bit, but really fucking fun film. Actually, when he injects the dude with the Vile 21, it totally has that Reanimator type feel to it. It's got like this green goo and this vial and stuff. And then It's really awesome, dude. I honestly, if you're a fan of like low budget films shot on video, very ambitious, kind of like, crazy doctor government type films, creature features, all the type of shit, this one might be for you, man. You might really like this. But I was taken back though, because like when you're watching shot on video films, you're thinking kind of standardized stuff, shitty effects. It does have like a rubber mask and stuff like that. It is what it is. But uh yeah, like to have stop motion effects in there and like real stunts, like people burning, like catching on fire and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? This is wild. This is really, really wild. Really good stuff. When I watched this film, I thought of you, Tony, right away. I'm like, you're gonna love this movie. Like, do you have this? Do you have this movie?
I do, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I think you're gonna love this, man. It's so much fun. Like, you're gonna notice the ambition right away. Like, even the acting in the film is not even that bad for like this type of thing. But when you're watching, you're going, okay, so they put a script together here. They're really explaining all the scientific shit. Like it's got this government kind of undertones of like, I think what the government's trying to do is they're trying to create like a fucking perfect weapon kind of thing, but they're coaching him. He doesn't really know that. He thinks he's there for the science and stuff. It's really fun, man. But yeah, there's actually even on the back here, I just realized like the fire and shit like that. That's dudes burning.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
All you had to say were fire stunts.
Yeah.
After you say that, then you know that these people are dedicated.
Yeah, so you look at this cover right here, and the first thing you think of is like Reanimator. It's got the green with the syringe and shit, like it's totally Reanimator, but it's not though. It's not. It's different, right? It's a creature feature. So, really fun stuff. Highly recommend this one, even though it was like a first time watch that I just wanted to watch and talk about. But I do recommend this quite a bit from VH Shitfest. That's an underrated label on the for the partner labels on Vinegar Syndrome site because they've been dropping nothing but heat, in my opinion. Like this is obscure as shit or it was obscure as shit because as far as I know, I think they say this is the first time it's ever been released, which is crazy. So, yeah, hidden gem right there. Pretty fun for a shot and video.
Speaking of hidden gems, real quick from VH Shitfest, I'll give an honorable mention to The Killing Tide that they came out with a couple months ago. Like that was a really fun shot on video, just the action movie that was just made in like some fucking regional Michigan shit. Like that was another movie that had really good action, actual like stunts and like car chases. It was really cool.
Yeah, and there's a lot of deaths in that movie. Like I was watching that shit, thinking of my buddy Simon, Explosive Action. I'm like, he's gonna love this shit, man. That's awesome to watch it because I loved it. I thought it was great. I was kind of taken back by that one too. So, yeah. Next up here, this was a recommendation for myself. Like I just wanted to rewatch. I actually been watching this a couple times, but original title is The Dead Come Home, also known as The House on Tombstone Hill. So
also known as.
So when this movie when it got released by Vinegar Syndrome, I had no idea what this was until I got it and I opened it up and I was like, motherfucker, it's dead dudes in the house. So the original title of this movie is The Dead Come Home. I don't know where the Tombstone Hill title comes from, but when Troma acquired the rights for this back in the day, they renamed the title Dead Dudes in the House. And that's how I knew because I have the old Slimline that's in one of those tin cases. I seen this. This has got to be the worst fucking title for this movie of all time. Because you looking at this shit, it makes it look like a fucking early 90s like comedy.
New Kids on the Block. It looks like a fucking boy band.
It does. It looks like a boy band that's comedic boy band shit. And it's so misleading. I don't know why Troma did that because probably not many people are going to check it out called that shit. But it's honestly like I guess it can be considered to be like a dark comedy, but it's a horror film. It's not goofy like Dead Dudes in the House would actually tell you or suggest, I should say. So this movie opens up like this really bizarre scene. It's like crazy. So there's this old dude. He's like dead on the floor, and there's this like grandma. She's kind of like hovering over him, and then there's this young girl. She's sitting there drinking like her fucking wine or whatever. And it goes on for like 10 seconds and then just cuts to the credits. You're like, what the fuck is that, man? It's like so bizarre. Anyways, the storyline in the film is like this dude fucking purchases his house and he brings all his friends along to go fix up the house and stuff like that. Anyways, one of the dumbasses, as soon as they get there, there's this tombstone that's in the front of the place. And he just like, what does he take, a hammer to it? Is that what he takes, a hammer? Anyways.
Was it? I thought he like threw a beer can at it or something stupid.
Anyways, he does something. He just out of the blue, he just like looks at it and he just smashes it. Well,
it breaks it.
It breaks it in kind of like Evil Dead kind of fashion. It releases something, or maybe it does. I don't know. But anyways, it awakens this like kind of demon old lady inside this house. anyways, they go into this house and they start getting picked off one by one. But the interesting thing about when they die is that they come back as like talking zombies, and then they become killers too and shit like that. So it's like this really weird storyline where they're zombies, but they're also killers. Like, I mean, they're being reanimated somehow. I don't know how, they don't really explain it, but it's kind of interesting. But this movie's pretty fun though, man. There's some really good kills. Love the atmosphere in the movie. Every time I watch this film, which is like 3, 4 times now, I always laugh about how many scenes there is where they're trying to get through a door and they can't open the fucking door.
The best part is like
fucking
there's
funny,
like
man.
there's like 5 different people that's like, get out of the way, let me try. And then it's like, you're a fucking pussy, let me fucking show you how to do it.
It's so fucking funny, dude. There's like multiple scenes like this, and every time you just think it would get old after multiple watches. It gets so much more funny. It's just hilarious how many times they do it, but it's really good, man. There's a really good kill in this film too, involving a dude that gets cut in half by a window plane. And it's not just one of those scenes where it comes down and just chops him in half. It's like it just keeps chopping and chopping and chopping, and like the effects are really good. It's actually quite well done. And like he ends up on the ground and it's like totally dummy shit, but it's pretty fucking awesome, man. There's some good kills and shit. I have a lot of fun with this one, man. I think the music's really good. And again, if you know it as Dead Dudes in the House, it would suggest as a comedy. It's not goofy, man. It's kind of taking itself a little bit serious with a little bit of, comic relief and stuff in there, but really
There's
fun.
some dark humor in there.
Definitely dark humor, but it's definitely a lot more serious than you think it would be. But it's a bizarre movie. It's a really, really bizarre movie. There's things that aren't explained as to why these people are being reanimated upon dying and shit like that. It doesn't really explain a whole lot because the opening scene doesn't really give anything. Like, what's your opinion on it?
I love the movie. Like just like you, like I've known it from like the slimline like DVD case era.
Yeah.
And yeah, I watched it too, like expecting some just goofy comedy, and I came out with something that was like 500 times better.
Mm-hmm.
It was so surprising, like how good that movie actually is.
Yeah.
And it's so weird, like to this day, it just doesn't get the recognition that I think it deserves because it has a cool atmosphere. I love the people that come back from the dead because they're always so like whimsical and like they're non-serious like when they're talking to the people. It's like almost like Evil Dead-esque where they're almost like kind of playful.
Yeah.
And I think
Well,
that's
they
really
try to
cool.
play it off like they're not even dead, like I'm not even dead kind of thing, and it's like
And
what's
they're
the
just
name?
like covered in blood and their like
Yeah.
brains are sticking out. I love the old lady. Like I'm like a huge mark for just like old lady killers that are played by men.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think my favorite character in the film is the over aggressive, like carpenter dude. Where like, okay, first of all, who shows up to, do some renos on a place and there's like 8 of you and nobody has beer? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I understand that guy's disappointment. He's like, what do you mean you don't have beer? He's like, what does he say? What's his famous line? He goes, he's like, a carpenter's tool is his, what does he say? Hammer, something, and beer or something else.
You would think that a guy who would like complain about beer so much would actually just like come in with a 6-pack at least
I know, right? It's so
by himself for himself. Usually those people are like, I got my own shit, bitch.
right. Right. It's such a bizarre movie too, in terms of like how people die and stuff. Also, it's like, like when you're watching a film and it feels like there's not enough kills going on. Like, say you like did this film and you're like, oh man, there's not enough kills in the script, man. We need to incorporate some characters out of the blue, like those 2 young kids. And they just kind of show up. It's like when you're watching a slasher film and the cops show up just to die, just to get killed. I feel like this was going to happen in the film, but then it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. It's like totally bizarre. I don't know. It's weird. Like the way people die in this film, it's just like anyone's fair game. I really like that about it. But
And
yeah,
you can die multiple times.
and you could die multiple times. Exactly. But yeah, the dead come home. One of the biggest surprises for me, because like I said, I didn't know what I got when I picked this film up, and I was like, it's Dead Dudes in the House. No fucking way. Crazy. But I should have known better. I mean, they released a lot of trauma stuff. I mean, it's not a trauma film. It's something they acquired the rights to, but I highly recommend this. This is one of my recommendations, The Dead Come Home. Do you have this one, JP?
What does the non-slip version look like? Is it the same cover?
Well,
Is
that's
that
a
reversible?
reverse
Is that the
wrap.
reversible?
Yeah, I think the.
What does
I think
the 13th cover look like?
this is this is the inlay. The
I
House
feel
on
like I
Tombstone Hill.
might have that one, but I don't have the slip version.
Yeah. So yeah, you
The
would
slip
have.
is worthless. Throw the slip away and reverse it to Dead Dudes in the House, and you're good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, that one I really enjoy. I think that was a good release from Vinegar Syndrome. Hopefully, more people check it out because it's not what it appears to be. It's actually quite good.
Is it in print?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. I don't know when it came out. Probably a few years ago.
I love that trauma poster, by the way. I love how like the old lady's face is like the entire size of the window.
Right. Yeah, I just don't understand how a movie like this has so many damn titles. It's like bizarre to me, right?
I love how Vinegar Syndrome had like they felt the need to give us every single title it had.
I know. That's like the
Yeah, I think I do own this one. I'm pretty sure. But just so listeners out there, there's only 360 of the standard edition left in stock. So pick it up while you
so the
can.
slip is gone. So if you do get this edition, you can just have this in your collection.
Yeah.
Like I said,
But only 360 of you can have
it's
it.
gonna look like this. Yeah. So the dead dudes in the house artwork is actually the DVD version. I like how they do that. They change it up, and then the other one's Blu-ray. But
Back when we had DVD Blu-ray combos.
right. So yeah, it's that old. I
They
guess.
not do that anymore? I never even noticed.
Not really.
They haven't done that since like 2020, I think.
Now they do 4K Blu-ray combos.
I understand that a lot more.
Yeah.
Pet peeve of mine. I hate when people release 4Ks without Blu-rays.
Yeah,
I actually hate that too.
that
yeah,
either.
that's stupid. I think it's very stupid.
Because I don't have a 4K player in every room of the house.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't have one in my cabin, so I could watch Blu-rays out there.
Right.
But anyways,
yeah. And if I like go to like a hotel or something, like I just take a Blu-ray player with me. Ain't taking a whole ass for. I don't doubt they even have 4K in hotels.
No way.
not, no.
But yeah.
All right, so next one here is from Egfa, and
is it bat pussy?
I had to check these out, man, because I had actually heard of these before. I never thought in my wildest dreams they were ever going to get a release like this. It's pretty wild. These are German shot on film movies called Fuck the Devil and Fuck the Devil 2 Return of the Fucker. This is real. This is real life. So
I also have that release.
I didn't realize, but yeah, I got a lot of shot on video in here. But yeah, so Fuck the Devil is a German shot on video film that's basically like a homage to like the first one's like a homage to like the Evil Dead 2, more or less. He's the guy's rocking an Evil Dead shirt, but it's pretty much the same thing. It's basically about a possessed VHS tape. It gets popped into the video player and
Evil Dead 2.
Yep.
They get a phone call that tells them they're going to die in 7 days.
No, it just releases some type of demon, and it does the whole homage thing, the whole Evil Dead thing, where it goes ripping through the house, and it actually does it not bad. I was like, wow.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Because like when they're doing like the camera like whooshing thing,
yeah,
like the kid that's actually making the movie is like making like
oh yeah.
He's making the sound effects.
But he does it all post though. This whole movie's all done post. Like they did all the fucking sound after. Yeah. But there's barely any actual dialogue in this movie. So a lot of it's just sound effects. So you're right. He's just doing all that shit after.
There's parts where he like starts to laugh too, or he's like
yeah. It's pretty funny. It is funny, but like so it's kind of a homage and like so it's ripping through, and then you're like, okay, so it's doing the whole Evil Dead thing, and then you know what it does? It fucking possesses a little infant. A little infant baby. I'm talking like a 6-month-old baby. And this is where I burst out laughing even before the funny shit happened. I was like, oh my God, dude. So it possesses this little infant, and so there's this dude, he comes into this room, and the infant fucking stabs this dude right in the shin. So what does he do? He pulls the knife out of his shin, and he fucking and then he kicks the fucking baby. Oh my God, dude, it's so fucking funny. So anyways, yeah, so he kicks the fucking baby and ends up having to do something else to the baby. So the demon releases itself. He gets possessed and becomes the fucker. So then he goes off on this killing.
Does something else to the baby. What the fuck? Is this Serbian film?
Well, he cuts the head off the baby.
He decapitates it.
Yeah. So first he kicks the baby, and then he cuts the head off, and then he gets up getting possessed, of course, because if you kill a baby, you know you're gonna get possessed, kind of thing. And then he turns into the fucker, and he's
is that how that works?
Kind of mask. And he goes on this,
don't do it.
So he goes on this killing spree and stuff like that. But it's a really bizarre movie because, like I said, it's a German shot on video film that doesn't really have. I want to say maybe 5 or 6 lines in the whole movie. How much dialogue do you think is actually in this, Tony?
Yeah, probably like 5 or 6 lines. There's not much at all.
Yeah, it almost feels like you're watching a silent shot on video film with just like ridiculous killings and just it's kind of funny too because it's not like your standard kind of like, you know, slash and kill. Like he kills people with darts. All these weird ways of people dying and shit. It's actually kind of creative, but this movie just feels like it's a straight up homage. It's a horror fan making a love letter to like horror movies and stuff. The funny part about that scene where the baby stabs the guy in the shin with this Rambo knife, there's literally a Rambo poster behind in that scene. And I burst out laughing. I'm like, that's pretty creative. I'm like, he stabbed him with a Rambo knife and there's a Rambo poster there. But like dipping through the house and stuff, there's Evil Dead 2 posters. There's all these horror posters. He's wearing an Evil Dead 2 shirt. But it's fun. It's actually really, really fun. It's your typical later 80s. This is actually 1990, I think it is. Sounding score. They definitely purchased a Casio keyboard and did the score that way. It's all Casio music, so it has that type of feel to it. And I really wanted to mention that because in the sequel, they actually have like an original song, which is really bizarre. It's really bizarre that they actually have like an original song for the sequel. But yeah, it's actually quite fun. It's only 30 minutes long. It's more of it's obviously a short, which I didn't know going into this. I was watching, I was like, what the fuck? This is really short. But I had a lot of fun with this. Did you like it, Tony?
Oh yeah, I thought they were great.
Yeah, it's quite fun.
So much fun. Like the kills are great. Yeah, just like the gore was stupid and cheap, but like it was super ambitious for a German kid. Like I was really impressed and just I don't know.
Like the way this one ends is so weird. How he just like loses his head. Dude, I was like, did I miss something? He just like loses his fucking head. It was like so fucking weird. Oh man. And then it kind of ends on this whole Nightmare on Elm Street thing, which, you know, I'm not going to totally give away because I kind of have to say that because going into the sequel, it's the sequel actually starts exactly where the first one leaves off, which I couldn't fucking believe. I couldn't believe it, man. So same kind of thing happens. VHS tape, Freddy, something happens with Freddy and stuff like that. It's possessed again. And I was like, okay, that's really cool. And then they actually they take the homage to Nightmare on Elm Street even further, and they have this bathtub scene, the famous scene with Nancy. But it doesn't go so well for that girl. It doesn't really go that well for her. She gets stabbed to a fucking 45 times in there. Yeah, so really, really fun movies, man, to be honest. I think I don't think I've laughed as hard at a part in a movie in so long. And I'm sure you laughed at this too, Tony. The scene where he fucking loses his head and he puts it back on and then he falls out the window. It's like this dummy.
That dummy was so fucking funny. Oh my God.
Dude. And then he fucking hits the ground, puts his head back on. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I'm just fucking dying laughing. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. Like, why they even
the
came
head
up
gags were the best part about the second one.
Oh, dude, it was so funny, man. It was so funny. But again, you know, they didn't repeat the kills. There was actually some decently creative kills. I think the second one is where the kid gets killed with the headphone cords and stuff. It was kind of cool. But yeah, I really enjoy these, man. I mean, they run like 30-35 minutes a piece, so it's like an hour of your life kind of thing. But which I didn't know, like I said, going into it, but really fun, really, really fun. There's not much dialogue in the second one, but the second one, like I said, it ups the ante with the music. It's not Casio this time, maybe a little bit of Casio, but they have an original song in there. It's like this really slow thing that's like turn of the fucker. I'm just like, what the fuck?
The song is so stupid, and it's like the song itself like kind of makes me laugh because like the singer just sounds like an idiot.
Yeah, it's so
like when he's singing it.
Yeah, they definitely just like recorded like 4 bars of the same, just kept fucking looping it through or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty fun shit, man. But yeah, again, this was just like a first time watch I wanted to talk about because it was just one I pulled off the shelf. I'm like, I'm gonna talk about this one, good or bad. But I really enjoyed these. I thought they were fun as hell, and I would totally recommend if you're a shot on video fan and check these out, man. They're really fun. But yeah, it's like fuck the devil. Return of the fucker, man. I just love the fact that the killer's name is Fucker. The Fucker.
I almost wish that like instead of like 2 separate director's cuts, they would have just done a director's cut and just lumped them all into one feature.
Yeah, right. I know. I thought the same thing.
Since it like takes place like one after another, it's like you could seamlessly just like transition it like that.
Yeah, because it like yeah, you're right because there's like they did a really good job doing it like a year apart because one is 90 and the other one's 91. And he obviously knew what he wanted to do, but like it literally takes place right where the last one's just left off. And I'm like, that's really interesting. Like, I can't even think of another shot on video film that actually ever did that because there's a
They
lot of
probably just made both of them and was like, this is too long. Let's make two movies. Like it probably just was one long movie.
I don't think so. I
No,
honestly don't think so because I think no, I don't think it was done like that at all. I don't think so. But yeah, anyways, moving on to another really bizarre one that I wanted to talk about. This was another recommendation rewatch for myself. I watched this one a couple of times last month. I think it's really fun. From 1988, and it's Grave Robbers. Have you guys ever seen this one?
nope.
Oh my god, this movie is the definition of fucking bizarre. It is really, really weird. So this movie opens up with a girl. Her name is Nora. She's working as a waitress, like in a cafe kind of thing, a diner. Anyways, this dude comes in one day and he basically offers to marry her. Like he's like, yo, what happens if like I ask you to marry, blah, blah, blah. So she goes away with him and they end up getting married, like right on the spot kind of thing. Turns out this dude runs a funeral home and also has a really bizarre fixation or hobby or whatever you want to call it, I guess, along with the rest of the town folk. And so yeah, it's kind of set up as a film. This one is a really, really strange movie. Like every time I watch it, I'm just like, there's something so odd about this movie. I can't stop watching because it deals with necrophilia for one thing. If you didn't catch that, with running a funeral home, but like everybody's involved. It's one of those movies where every single character in the movie is like suspect and so weird. But I love the way this movie's shot because it opens up with like this dream sequence. It's kind of like a premonition of what's going to happen. It kind of sets up the whole atmosphere for the film and also the ending in the film. It kind of bookmarks it actually quite well. I think they did a good job with the way they shot this one. It feels like a dream through the whole thing. It feels like it's really foggy and it's done on purpose and stuff. It's not done like it's obviously lower budget, but it's done on purpose to create that whole kind of dream atmosphere. Like, is it happening or is it not? Because you know you get because there's bookends to this part of the narrative. Um, but it is really really bizarre. It's not just people fucking corpses. It's about people kind of like doing some type of weird like electroshocks and kind of feeding off that. And these scenes of like them doing this like electro shit with these dead bodies and shit like that and kind of like feeling or getting all I don't even know how to really describe it. It's like the most bizarre thing ever because it's kind of unexplained in itself really what they're trying to accomplish with that. But there's this great line in the film where they do this girl dies, they run her off the road purposely, she ends up dying and she's like this beautiful girl and stuff like that. And actually before she gets to the morgue or gets to the funeral home, these two guys pick her up in a like in an ambulance kind of thing. And it's just crazy, man. She's in the back, and this dude's all of a sudden back there cutting her fucking shirt open. He's feeling her titties, legs are coming open, and guy pulls over and like, well, there's no rush to get her and stuff, and they're laying it to this dead girl's body and shit. I might add, it is meant to be a dark comedy too. It's kind of goofy, but it's not like overly goofy. But it's like it's kind of crazy, like the shit that they're doing in this. But anyways, there's this crazy scene where Nora doesn't really think that anything's crazy going on. She just happens to be spying on these people, and she sees them in this like in the morgue area, and the girl's in there, and everyone's kind of like massaging the body and shit, like getting all this like electrical shock and shit like that. Anyways, they go through this whole kind of sequence, this whole kind of weird thing, and then the dude says he's like, "Well, you can't get AIDS from dead people." And I literally lost my shit laughing.
Is that true?
I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
scientifically, is that true?
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. But in their minds, they did this kind of weird electrical thing, and it's like cleansing the dead body so they could have sex and do their thing with it. But like he literally says out loud, he's like, "Well, you can't get AIDS from dead people." And I just like, and this is made in 1988 too, right? So think about that. Like that's right at the height of like people freaking out about it. It's just fucking insane. Which kind of plays into the joke in the first part of the film where that condom salesman comes in and he's like hitting on the waitress, saying the most absurd things ever. And it turns out he's like a condom salesman and he's got this whole briefcase full of rubbers and shit. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this movie's really fucking bizarre. It's like these people may or may not be alive, kind of thing. Like one of the cool scenes in the movie is actually towards the end in the chase scene where you have this guy and he's like chasing Nora in this vehicle and he starts peeling back all his fucking skin and shit from like riding on his bike. It's fucking awesome. I think it's one of the most bizarre films I've ever seen. Like, it's just so bizarre to me that this film got made because it's meant to be a dark comedy, and like it's not like laugh out loud funny, but it's kind of like one of those things where you watch it and you go, you just keep chuckling over and over again. You're like,
It's so quirky.
It is quirky, and you're like, you can't believe that they're doing these things and like exploiting these. It's just so bizarre to me, but it's not done like necromantic. You know what I mean? It's done a totally different level, but it adds this absurdity to it, and like this level of like head scratching material. You're just like, why? Like, why? Like, you just keep saying why the whole time, right? And then the ending happens, and you're like, what the fuck? It's just crazy. It's really fun. I think it's really, really fun. The girl that plays Nora in the film, she only did like 2 movies. This is like the last movie she ever did. I thought she was fucking awesome in this movie. Really beautiful too. The craziest thing about this film, the guy that she marries in this movie, he looks like an evil version of Chris Kattan. Does he not?
I can't remember actually.
It's literally Chris Kattan, but an evil version of Chris Kattan. It's hilarious. It's so funny to me. But yeah, really, really good stuff, man. There's actually a moment in this film, JP, that you'll really appreciate. It gets really crazy weird. So that girl that dies and they run off the road and they all have her way with her and blah, blah, blah. Her brother shows up at the funeral in the middle of the film kind of thing. And they have this whole thing. Anyways, there's a reveal in the end of the movie where he kind of gets turned, and then he reveals why it was a good thing that he got turned, because he got to do all the things to his sister he always wanted to do.
Jesus.
It's fucked up, man. It's
That's
really
so
JP's adding that to his watch list right now.
I do own that movie.
It's fucked up, dude. This movie's so much fun. I love the atmosphere though. Like, I really like the way it's shot because it's literally shot like a dream, and it keeps kind of, and they do play into the whole fact of like, did you actually see this? And you know, but they don't go overboard with it because it's like, you know, be kind of corny if they were doing that. But they more focus on the bizarreness of like really what's going on with the necrophilia and all that type of shit. But awesome film. I think it's really fun. It's not really going to be for everybody, but I think it's one of the quirkiest movies that I'm so glad the Vinegar Syndrome released, because I probably never would have saw this. And this is what I love about Vinegar Syndrome, is that they release shit like, you know, this, that who else is releasing this, right? So Grave Robbers, really, really good stuff. Highly recommend Grave Robbers from 1988. Fun film. Next one here is my last pick. This was one I'd never seen before. I think this one is from 1990. Is it 1999? Yeah, 1999. This one was released by Agfa and Bleeding Skull. So I think this was released before Bleeding Skull became their own thing. So this is Agfa and Bleeding Skull. And it's called Limbo.
That was one of the first partner label releases. Limbo was. I think it was like that. The McPherson tapes are like the first couple.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like 2020. Yeah. So I just got around to checking this out. I've had it mentioned for a while because, yeah, this is number 20 on the Agfa line, which now they're in like the 70s or something. It's crazy. But I've been wanting to watch this one for a while because it was directed by Tina Cruz, who was in like a bunch of like Tempe films. I know she was in Bloodletting, and she's in like a ton of like the 90s, you know, low budget.
Wave, all that shit.
Yeah, she's in tons of movies. And I saw her name on there. I was like, is that Tina Cruz from all those movies? And I looked it up and I'm like, fuck, it is too. She has a small little part in here. She plays a waitress and stuff. But this is really not what you think that she would be directing. It's like, it's a shot on video art house in the vein of like David Lynch, if that makes any sense. It's really bizarre. It's a really, really weird art house David Lynch type influenced hypnotic, psychedelic, fucked up movie. It really is. So like the first, and this is a short one too. It only runs about 55 minutes, which I didn't realize when I popped it into. But so for like the first like 30 minutes of this movie, it's like, it reminds you of watching David Lynch just do the most bizarre shit. It has all these characters and are saying weird shit, and it's got this really atmospheric, but it's like it keeps kind of switching around, and you're going, So if you read the synopsis on the movie, you'd be like, when is it going to get to what it's about? Kind of thing. It's like going through the motions, right? But it's very interesting because it's setting up this character in and out, and you don't really know who the character is and stuff. And it's got all this weird dialogue, very heavy atmosphere, very hypnotic, very strange and stuff. And it's basically about this girl that invites this dude over to her house for one night stand, and she ends up killing him and stuff like that. And yeah, that's it. And then it just kind of goes from there. It's really interesting. It's like the way I kind of describe this thing is like I said, it's like an art house version of a David Lynch film. Even the music is really strange in it too. It really fits. The music really does fit for what the visuals are. I think that was one of the coolest things about the movie. But then it's like it goes into this territory of like, is she a fan of like Fulci and the Beyond? Because it gets into like this hellish kind of territory, and it goes really weird. But the whole movie is just like it's a total head scratcher. It's really strange and odd. Um, I had a lot of fun with this. Like one thing I did notice where you guys, everyone's seen Irreversible. You know, like how the soundtrack is like it's
Sound
disorientating
design.
on purpose. Like the sound design, it's done backwards, and it's meant to like nauseate you and shit like that. Well, the music in this kind of reminded me of that. It's not done backwards, but it's disorientating in terms of like when you're listening to and watching the visuals, you're just like it's like fucking with your head. It's very psychedelic. Very cool stuff. Like for a shot on video film, there's a lot of ambition here. Maybe not like the most A to B type narrative. It's very confusing. But very enjoyable though. Very enjoyable. It's a quick watch, 55 minutes, very cool stuff, very different. Just was not expecting this at all from her. I was expecting something totally straightforward. I got something totally different. Because like I said, I didn't really know much going into it, but it's got a little bit of blood and gore. It's got some things going on there. It's not like heavy on that. It's more about kind of the art house feel to it and stuff like that. But I had a lot of fun with this. Limbo, yeah, I'm glad I checked it out, man. It's been in the collection for a bunch of years, and really pretty cool stuff from Tina Cruz. So check it out if that sounds up your alley. But again, like I said, like I 3 out of my 5 films were shot on video. That was not done on purpose. I just really like shot on video stuff, and that's just what I'm into. So yeah, give those all a shot. So they all are recommendations. It turned out that some of the ones that I just wanted to check out actually turned out to be decent. So that's always a bonus.
Grave Robbers was actually one of those movies where you like watch as a young kid and you really focus on one scene and it just like sticks in your mind throughout the rest of your life, but you don't know what the movie is. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, Dead
specifically
Heat.
the scene that you mentioned where the girl's getting chased by the guy on the motorcycle and his face starts peeling back and
Yeah.
he starts like becoming like a decrepit zombie.
Yeah.
That fucking scene I watched when I was probably like maybe 8 years old, and I had no fucking clue what movie that came from. And I went on message boards and when I was a teenager and everything looking for the movie.
Crazy.
And it took that Blu-ray for me to find out what it was.
So it must have been like the coolest find ever. Like,
I don't even know how I watched it.
do you
It had to
enjoy
have been like late night sometime on like Cinemax or something.
do you enjoy Grave Robbers?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
It's a weird movie, right? Like the narrative is just
Hmm.
so batshit strange, and like the way it starts and the way it ends and stuff. And I think it's really fun though. I think it needs to be seen to believed, because it's like it's weird. Like when you're trying to make a dark comedy, but you make it that like rugged. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's not like laugh out loud jokes. It's quirky. It's got some weird characters. Everyone's fucking weird. Everyone's that character where you're like, yeah, something's up with that person. Like every single one.
It's got
So
a decent little romance like subplot in it too.
yeah. Yeah, and then that guy turns out to be it's kind of funny actually. But anyways, JP, what do you got?
All right. So the way I did mine was the way I did it last year, where I just randomly picked 5 movies through the randomizer. And it was kind of a mixed bag this time. Not really like in terms of like quality necessarily. Like I like all these movies. But mixed bag in terms of 2 of them I've seen before. Three of them I've seen before. So there was only 2 that I hadn't seen in this. So the first one here is the one that, and by the way, I watched all these like weeks ago. Like I watched I was going to a convention and stuff, so I didn't want we were supposed to record last week, so I didn't want to watch those movies the week of like I normally do. So I watched them the week before that. So not the best at remembering things, especially when I'm like preoccupied with all kind of crazy shit going on in my life right now. But
I'm gonna be the same way when I talk about mine.
yeah, so you have a much better memory than me, bro. The first one here is a movie from the year 1991, the year of my birth, and that is Steel and Lace. I
Oh, I've
remember
seen
when
this
Vinegar
movie.
Syndrome, yeah, I remember when Vinegar Syndrome announced this. I was pretty excited because we had done the 91 show around that time, and Steel and Lace was the title I remember watching and think it was like, oh, that was pretty cool. Rewatching it this time, honestly, I didn't like it as much. The movie starts off with like basically right away with like a courtroom scene that's like flashing back to this grape that happened to this girl, and the guys involved get let off and cheer in the courtroom. And the one dude with his like ponytail thing is like the most like obnoxious, like elitist dude ever. Like you just want him to die so bad. But she can't handle the fact that like, there was no justice, so she ends up deleting herself.
Wow,
And
you have to really go all out on these ones, eh?
yeah, right.
The kids are sensitive nowadays.
These kids are sensitive nowadays. So flash forward some years later and stuff, and her brother actually like resurrects her into this like cyborg woman thing, and she starts picking off the people that were involved in the original case. And there's like a writer chick who's also trying to like figure out what's going on. So that's basically the movie. It's a grape revenge movie, uh, in a way, but it has like sort of like that cyber like cyborg type thing going on as well. There's some all right moments in it. There's like a kill or two that is enjoyable. Um, I almost wish they made it a little bit more sleazy in a way. It's kind of
Hmm.
tame. But I kind of get it. Like you don't always have to have like some big graphic rape scene or whatever. But I almost like a little bit more sleazy in like the seduction aspect of it.
Hmm.
And like the murders, like I kind of wish it would have been a little bit more like went a little further. But I will say that the douchebags are super douchebags, so you do like to see them get murdered. You know what I mean? Like that's what you're there for. And yeah, there's some weird cyborgy stuff. Like I'm never crazy with the like cyborg movies usually, but besides like Terminator. But yeah, I thought it wasn't as good as I remembered it, but it was still pretty decent. I enjoyed it. So that is Steel and Lace there. And like I said, Moods, these are you stepped away, but these are ones that I just did a randomizer. So I was actually going to do like a random Vinegar Syndrome proper, Vinegar Syndrome, the VSA, a random like, maybe a VSL or something, and kind of hit all
So
the
you
sub.
put all the titles in there, even if you'd seen them before, just ones
No,
you
no, no.
hadn't watched.
Just ones that I haven't opened the Blu-ray. Like they are sealed.
Yeah, yeah, but you'd seen Steel and Lace before, though, right?
Yeah, I'd seen Steel and Lace
Right.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I mentioned too that three of these ended up being movies I've seen before,
Oh, okay.
including this next one, which is this is so funny when this one popped up because I was like, really? And that is The Birds 2, Land's
Oh,
End.
didn't we watch that one for 91 also?
Yes.
That's weird.
That's a
That's two in a
91
row.
movie.
Yeah.
No, 94. This was for
Or
94.
94. Yeah, it was one of
That's
those years.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this
I've
is the
been
first thing I
afraid to watch
thought.
that.
Dude, honestly,
It's
it
not
is
that
not
bad.
that bad, bro.
No.
Okay.
So, The Birds 2, Land's End. It's a TV film. I actually think this was a really cool release from Vinegar Syndrome because this movie never really had any release, like
No,
DVD or
nothing.
VHS was the last release for it, I think. So it was cool. And by the way, this fucking Blu-ray looks great.
Yeah, I haven't watched the Blu-ray yet, actually. That's one that I think it
Yeah.
didn't it come out right after we did 94, and I was like,
Yeah, it
we just
literally was like
watched it.
right after. So also this is a Showtime TV movie, so it's a little bit, got a little bit more violence in it and stuff like that.
That was the
It's
same
no
era as Body Bags then, because that was a Showtime original in what, 93?
Yeah, I feel like that was, yeah. Um, Obviously it's no Psycho 2 in the terms of sequels, right?
Legacy
But
sequels.
yeah. Actually, the funny thing about this movie is it's not even a sequel
No.
really at all. So it actually does have Tippi Hedren in it, um, who was in the original film, for those who don't know, but she
Does
plays
she
a
play the
completely different
same?
character.
Oh,
No,
Different
no.
character. And the only tie to the original is that they sort of mentioned that something like this happened before, where a bunch of
Like
birds
in
attack
passing
people.
too.
Sort of, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
that's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre intro bullshit, where it's like there's two seemingly like similar but unrelated events that happened.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know why movies are like films, especially like in this era, like the 90s, like would call themselves like The Birds 2, but try so hard to pretend they're not a sequel. It's the weirdest shit.
I wish
But
they
this
would still do that. Now they're
no,
trying so hard to make a sequel and not make it a number two. They just want to call it the same fucking thing as the first one.
well, yeah, I hate that part, but they at least pretend that they're related. Not in the title, but in the movie.
Yeah, it's just the opposite now.
Yeah. So this was directed by Alan Smithy. You must have seen a couple other films by him. Not a very good director.
It's one of my
Um,
favorites.
no, it's Rick Rosenthal actually, who is of Halloween 2 and Resurrection fame. But he
Is he
actually
a
took his
hack?
Why do you take
probably
his name off this?
he hated it. I mean, this movie was critically like bashed the shit. I mean, it's a Hitchcock movie, dude. Like people like
Well, wasn't it
one
straight to
guy made
video?
it.
Wasn't it straight to video?
No, this was a TV movie.
Oh,
How
it
could
was
he
a
take
TV
his
movie.
name?
Right.
How could he
Right.
take his name off of that and not take his name off of Halloween Resurrection?
Well,
Well, because
I have
Resurrection.
no clue, bro. Honestly, I
Yeah,
don't.
that is actually kind of interesting because Resurrection's fucking shitballs. I would rather watch
A
The Birds
Resurrection
too.
probably made money at the box office. I don't know. And also, it was like so late. Like I could get it. Like you made this movie. It's starting to come out. People are not liking it, or you didn't like making
I
it,
forgot
and
that was
it's
a TV movie.
fucking connected to Hitchcock at the time where like that was like risky as fuck to do. I could kind of see that. I mean, but
Yeah, he was probably
Halloween.
just stoked to
I
have
mean, everybody made a
a
shitty
theatrical
Halloween
movie in
sequel.
2002.
Yeah, right. Except, well, yeah. But to get to the actual like plot of this movie, it takes place 30 years after the original Birds, and it follows a family who moved to this little like East Coast island town, and there is a father, a mother, their two daughters, and their son had been died in a car accident like before that. So there's a ton of like melodrama family shit that goes on through the movie, which is it does bog it down a bit. But like I think the cool thing about this movie is that and the bird just start attacking people, you know what I mean? And I think that there's actually some really cool bird attacks and stuff in this movie, and that's where the success of it for me is. Um, there's actually really fun for some reason, just like cracked me up. But like, there's a bird that gets shot with a flare gun and like bursts into flames and like falls into the water. It's just like so funny to me for some reason. But yeah, practical effects all throughout, you know,
Stupid.
birds and shit, which is pretty cool. There's like the little girls find a body with its eyes pecked out and shit like that, floating in the water and stuff. There's a early scene of birds attacking some fishermen's and shit like that. It's honestly it's kind of becomes a little bit of a siege film at times. It's honestly like not that bad of a movie. Like I think it's totally passable for what it is, you know, TV movie sequel to like a notable classic horror film from Hitchcock. It is there is a lot, like I said, there is a lot of like family, you know, them like I think the husband, the wife is getting like hit on by her boss and shit. So there's like this like disconnect between the husband and wife. And then there actually it is like kind of very Jaws-ish as well, too, where it's like, oh, we like this is a big vacation spot to us. Like we can't like, you know, shut down the town or whatever. But it comes off so lame because it's like, dude, nobody's coming to this town for
Yeah,
anything.
looking at the literal slipcase you're showing me,
Yeah,
one
it's like
farmhouse. I'm like, who the fuck is touring
yeah,
this
it
town?
doesn't work at all, but it's just like, you know, it's what they did with the killer animal movies at that time. So yeah, it's not bad. I did not mind the revisit.
Vinegar
Like,
Syndrome caught so much shit for releasing that too.
I don't know
Yeah,
why it
yeah,
never had a fucking
yeah.
release.
And I bet you most people that were tripping dicks about that had never seen it before.
Yeah,
Because anytime you
probably.
get a TV film actually released on physical media is like a win.
Yeah,
Because
I agree 100%, dude.
True.
I will never literally be mad that they released something that was stuck on VHS ever, no matter what the movie is.
yeah, and TV movies are usually hard to release because the rights are all fucked up, right? It's you got to deal with the TV rights. It's not usually copyrighted music. It's like such a pain in the ass to release. But I'm fine with that release. At first, I was like, shit, man, I just watched it, so I wasn't like super stoked. But it's something I'd go back and watch though. I definitely
Yeah,
would.
yeah, it's not bad. Um, After that, we have a movie from 1987. And this is
Good year.
the last movie that I had seen before. And that is The Lamp. So
Oh,
this is also known
I've
as The
seen that movie.
Outing, which
I,
is where
Yeah,
I've seen it before
I love the
on.
lamp.
the Screen Factory.
So they
Factory.
Yeah,
did start. So they did release some fucking
that's
screen. Yeah,
I thought of that too, bro. I was like, this
right.
was real fucking early doing
Yeah.
that. But this one actually made a
It
lot
was
of
in a
sense
double feature
too.
though. It was in a double feature from
It
Screen
was in a
Factory.
4-pack at first.
Yeah, and then it
Wasn't it
went.
one of the DVDs Screen
Yeah,
Factory did?
yeah, I
And then
think
it
so.
went to the double feature. But the thing about this release, why it's totally justified, is because they released a different cut of the movie that Screen Factory didn't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
access to or was lazy, which
yeah. I've
is
watched that Blu-ray. It's
Either
awesome.
or.
so yeah, also known as The Outing. It is a movie where it starts out in what is it like? Is it the 80s? It says the 80s. Or
Yeah.
sorry, 1893. Starts
Oh yeah,
out
the
in
backstory. Yeah,
1893. Yeah.
yeah.
Where
That
there's
was the 90s.
a Arabic woman who is like traveling on a boat. There's the jinn that kills everybody and stuff, and then it flashes forward many years later when she's an old lady and she has this little lamp. And some like pretty much assholes like break into her house and like murder her with like a hatchet, I think, from my memory. And basically
Yeah, it's
find this
pretty fucked
lamp.
up too.
Yeah, it was. Basically find this lamp. This lamp ends up in like this professor's hands, and this professor's daughter has like a douchebag boyfriend who literally only shit. This only happens in the 80s. Like the the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend or whatever, literally like sees her driving down the road and like smashes into her and tries to like run her off the road. It's like, dude, nobody would do that like ever. But it's just like it's just what they did in the 80s, right? And then um so then later on all the kids, the daughter and like the friends and stuff like go and have like a little outing at this with this lamp and shit like that. And are they in like the museum or something? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, the Jin possesses and does things, and snakes come out and bite people and they hook up and stuff like that. And there's some fun effects in here, and it's just a fun 80s movie, like at the end of the day. Like it's one of those movies that are just fun to watch. I love movies like this where it's just like a bunch of kids like go out into some thing at night and hell breaks loose, you know, it's Night of Demons type shit. And there's actually some really cool effects in here and stuff. And I like snakes in movies. They bite people and they bleed because it's always funny looking. Um, uh, and yeah, don't really remember a whole lot else. I have seen this movie before, but yeah, I enjoyed the revisit of this one. And I don't know what the actual cut. They do like a little description of it and basically say that it's like the most complete version ever released. So they found some extra footage. I don't know what the difference is because it was so long ago I watched the Scream
I don't
Factory
remember
version.
thinking it was much difference, but there is a few
It's like
scenes.
2 minutes, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
but I'm not
It's
sure what all it is. But
I couldn't tell you what the
this is
difference
a
was.
little bit of an underrated little movie here. You don't hear people talk about this one that much.
I never understood why it was retitled as The Outing.
The Lamp is such a better
It
title.
is. It like
Mhm.
actually is what it should be called. Like The Outing is weird to me, right?
Yeah, and I
We're
actually
going out
love
to a
like
fucking museum like the outing. What a stupid fucking title that
I
is.
know.
right. And I actually love the
At that point,
like
just call it Museum
gins.
Massacre.
I love gins a lot. Like I like the character creature. It's a cool
Yeah.
mythology. They don't really do like the wish thing in here though.
No.
It's just more like a monster. But yeah. So that's the lamp. And then on to the two random titles that I hadn't seen, which is funny because like all these are kind of in the same era, like late 80s, early 90s, pretty much. Kind of weird how the randomizer
That
works.
was like my picks too, man. I had like this weird fucking I was like looking at like the years on these, and it was like 98, 89, 90, 91, 88, 1999. I'm like, that's a lot
There's
of eights
actually
and nines.
some parallels with your picks and my picks, which I'll get to in my last title, but also this title, which was a trauma film
Hmm.
um from 1989, my second like Jaws inspired movie, and that is Blades.
Oh, nice. Blades.
Dude, okay, so I never seen this before, but
Oh, dude, that's so
I started
awesome.
watching it, I was like, this thing sucks. I don't care about golf. And I don't care about lawnmowers. But then once I realized like this shit is literally Jaws, it became
On a
so
golf course.
fucking funny to me
Yeah.
because it's like this the scene that was the funniest to me, like just the dumbest shit ever, is like where they think they got the right lawnmower and they string it up and they cut the bag and no body parts fall out. It's just the dumbest shit ever, bro.
Dude, that's fucking, it's a great parody, man. Come
It
on, man.
is a
That's
great
such a
parody.
funny ass fucking scene.
Dude, I love that.
The
Oh, it's so
lawnmower is
good.
like hanging off the like the meat
Let's
hook or
cut the
whatever,
insides out.
and they cut out the insides like they do in Jaws.
So fucking good, man.
And I was like, okay, this fucking is actually pretty fucking
Dude,
funny,
there's
dude.
surprisingly a bunch of horror films based like on golf courses, man. There's a few of them.
Yeah, dude. And
It's
it's
so
just, but
weird.
it's like so fun. I don't even know what it's. It's like this girl is wanting to be this golf pro. There's another dude's golf pro, and there's people dying on a golf course that they're trying to like solve the murder, and it turns out it's like lawnmowers, but it's like it's Jaws. It's
It's like
literally like
it's
the
like Jaws meets
another
Caddyshack.
like the guy the golf owner doesn't want to shut down the course because it's making good money. It's some golf season, dude.
Yeah.
And then it's like the one dude's like the Quint character. There's like even an SS Indianapolis type scene on there and shit like that.
Hmm.
Uh like the it actually is really funny, like the parody parts of it. If you've never seen, I never had interest in this movie at all. I knew it had something to do with a lawnmower, and I was just
Dude,
like,
I told you a million times that movie is fun as hell, man. It's fun.
it
It's
actually
literally a
is,
Jaws. If Jaws and Caddyshack had a baby, you get Blades.
dude. It's so that's one scene though, bro. Just like won the movie for me.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid as hell.
But yeah, that's Blades.
But
It's
that's
fun.
that's a good release too because it's actually uncut. I think the old Trauma DVD was like I think it was cut
What
a
the
little bit.
fuck
So
was Troma's problem with their old DVDs where they're always cut and
I have
shit? For what?
no idea.
It's not even like it's a DVD, bro.
I don't know.
Like, remember that shitty as fuck Stenhall release they had like way back in the day?
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's just
why?
trauma. Why would trauma cut anything?
I know, right? It's
They
the
want to
weirdest
use
thing.
everything.
I think it maybe was like the rights that they acquired for some of the films or something like that. They were just I have no idea, man, how to explain it. It's weird.
It's the weirdest shit. Um,
I can understand why they cut Blood Hook a
yeah,
half
because that
hour
was like
down to 80
2
minutes.
hours or something.
Yeah.
That's the only time where I can like accept why they did that.
Yeah. But honestly, dude, the more years pass, the more I think that Full Moon versus Trauma isn't even a competition. Like Trauma just put out the better stuff.
Yeah.
I used to think it was like closer.
Yeah, but once you start digging into shit, you're like, damn, dude, they acquired the rights to a lot of good shit and put out a lot
Yeah.
of good movies too. I mean, they
Yeah,
did
like Full
Poltergeist.
Moon made more movies. Like they didn't really put out other people's shit, you know
No,
what I mean? But
Their peak was
um
only like 5 years.
yeah. Like
the
if you
90
lump Empire into Full Moon, Full Moon total Empire wins. But
yeah, Empire as a
Mhm.
company was really good. Like it was solid. Like they didn't really put out anything bad.
yeah.
And then the first, I would say up until about the later 90s, Full Moon was pretty solid.
Hmm.
But if you compare even like that whole '90s era of Full Moon to Trauma, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the last movie that I picked here or got randomized here was one that I was actually looking forward to checking out for quite a while because I remember hearing about it. Nice and short too. Um, 1995 on this one. So like literally all my titles were like late 80s to mid 90s. And another title that kind of like the trauma thing was the crossover with you mods. But this title is also another crossover with Moodz because it is an Evil Dead inspired film, and
Hmm.
that is Frostbiter,
Oh yeah,
Wrath of the
nice,
Wendigo,
nice.
which also came out as just Wendigo. So this movie is pretty fucking cool, in my opinion. It starts out with this old guy who basically like has kept this Wendigo at bay by having skulls on posts like in a circle or something. And there's these like two redneck dudes just like show up and like mark the dude. Similar to that of the fucking lamp, where people just show up killing old people. But they
Senseless.
yeah, they essentially like release the Wendigo, and then sometime later there's some new people in the area like having like a little party in like a little cabin out in the woods. And one of the original redneck dudes, which by the way is fucking the guy from Mosquito. Um, I forget his
He's
name.
also one of the original guitarists of the Stooges with Iggy Pop.
Really? That's
Yeah.
Wow.
that guy. I knew that guy was in
Ron
this, but I didn't know it was
Ashton.
the same guy.
Hmm. Did you mention that this is also a Trauma release?
No, I did not. Was
So
it?
that's the other connection
Damn.
there. So that's another Trauma and
Yeah.
Evil Dead. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So, there's also like this girl who's like being summoned to like put a stop to the Wendigo as like the chosen one. But the coolest fucking dopest shit about this movie, well, I'll tell you the coolest dopest shit about this movie and then the worst shit about this movie. So the coolest dopest shit about this movie is like it's just hella ambitious and has like a bunch of cool miniatures and stop motion
Yeah.
and all kind of just fun like Evil Deady shit, like splattery type shit. And it's awesome for that reason. The worst thing is the music. It is fucking all over the place weird. Like it's like all these weird rock songs that just feel so like goofy.
The Chili
And
Monster song that they played multiple times in the
Does it have
movie.
any like country twang in there too? I
it
don't.
feels
Am
like
I
it.
thinking like a different? Yeah, I don't. I can't remember.
I
Uh,
know that I was reading a little bit about the movie, and apparently the director, first of all, he says it's like the worst movie ever made, which is totally just not even close.
what else
No,
did he make?
because it fucking rocks.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know if he made anything else.
it's not gonna be the worst. It's like
He
this is
just
the
quit
worst.
after that. I made the worst movie. Fuck it.
Yeah, and then but he apparently the film he wanted a traditional score, but the financiers wanted like rock songs in the score.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
There's also a Hills Have or an Evil Dead 2 poster hanging
Hmm,
ripped, similar to like the Hills Have Eyes poster in Evil Dead, which is pretty cool.
right.
But it's totally Evil Dead. I mean, there's one character that like turns into pretty much like a fucking shemp or whatever the fuck they call those things in Evil Dead. It's real like you could tell everything's like a set. Like the cabin is just like room built out of plywood, pretty much. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Which is just like adds such charm to the movie. And it really is ambitious. Like they got planes, like this plane's like in the snowstorm and it's like wiggling up and down. It's clearly just like a miniature, and then it crashes and shit. And you're just
Yeah.
like, dude, this is like the stuff I just have always loved, just like trying shit. It's like gonna look fake, but it's like I like that they're putting
That they're
the effort in
trying.
to like
Yeah.
make these miniatures and stuff like that. It's way better than CG. Um, which is
Especially like
another
stop
thing.
motion effects.
Oh hell yeah! And there's a lot of cool stop motion effects with the Wendigo and stuff at the end. But another thing, when I was like researching slightly before the show, stuff with the movies that I had picked just to like for refresh my memory. Somebody also I was reading left like a review for the Birds or like comments or something saying like oh, like this should be like they need to like be it needs to be more like silly and goofy to be fun and stuff. And I'm like, dude, that's literally like what I hate about modern like killer animal movies is like The Birds 2 is a completely serious movie, bro. And it's just like the over the top silly shit doesn't work for those movies for me. It always comes
I
off
don't know.
weird.
Birdemic is pretty classic.
Yeah, right. I think that's what they were kind of getting at. Um,
We're
but
doing that trilogy, man. Come on. Tony's
I'll
going
do
to
it.
jump on that
I'll
show.
fucking do it. I ain't afraid to do
Have
bad
you seen him
movies.
before, Tony?
Birdemic?
Yeah.
Only the first one, yeah.
Yeah. I've only seen the first one too.
But yeah, Frostbiter is super fucking cool. Yeah, I assume all you guys have seen it before.
No, I haven't seen
Hmm. I've
Frostbiter.
got the old Trauma DVD and, of course, that Blu ray, but
Do you guys like it?
I
I
do.
love
It's
it.
fun.
Yeah. Okay,
Anything that
good.
has stop motion in it wins my heart over. And miniatures. Miniatures, stop
Yes.
motion, and dummy deaths are like my three big things.
And Evil
Oh,
Dead inspired.
yeah,
And Evil
Evil
Dead.
Dead
Well,
inspired
that's
is
the other thing
always
we got in
fun.
common because I had a film with stop motion stuff too.
That's why I said that. Like,
Yeah,
oh
it's
shit,
crazy.
yeah. But one thing that I really do like about this like mid-year show is just picking five random shit that I haven't watched yet. Because, like, honestly, it wasn't as great that I've seen three of them, but still, it was nice to revisit The Lamp and The Birds.
I like how
Like,
honest you are. Like you could just change your randomizer and nobody would ever know, but you're like, I'm gonna do that one.
I know. I just,
You're such a
I'm
good
like,
guy.
what's the point if I change the randomizer? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've had things where I've spun again because I'm like, fucking it's like a 3 hour fucking movie or something like when we're doing prep and stuff I'm like I don't feel like this right now 3 hour
right.
subtitled movie but yeah for the most part I try to be like super legit with it and uh I was very happy with like just the randomness of the picks but I mean I literally have does like a couple hundred unwatched things so
A
That's
couple
crazy, man.
hundred?
Yo,
Holy
yeah
shit.
dude
wow.
couple hundred probably.
All right,
Well,
Tyler, you're up.
all right. So I did a similar method to JP where I put all my unwatched partner labels in a randomizer and I spun it 5 times and that's what we went with. And yeah, these are I was definitely happy with my five. I'll say right away, there are no losers in my pile. Every movie in my pile is at least very good, I would say. And unlike JP though, I didn't have 100. I had about like 13. So,
So you had a pretty good.
and a lot of them were movies I bought on the Memorial Day sale, so it was a good opportunity to check those out. But I did end up getting a mix of like movies that I had just picked up and movies that had been sitting for a little bit. Okay, but starting off with the first one, my number 5 out of 5, my number 5 pick, it comes from Film Movement Classics, and that is Zhang Yimou's Shanghai Triad. It is from 1995, and it is a Chinese movie. Essentially, so this was way bigger budget than I thought it was gonna be. This director is probably best known for his movie Hero, that he did with Jet Li.
Jet Li,
He's also got another movie from 1991 called Raise the Red Arm that's like excellent, and he's pretty well known for that one too. So this one's a little between those two movies, and yeah, it's really high production value. It's set in the 30s, and the setting and all that stuff is like fantastic. That's really like the part of the movie that's the selling point is like the production, cinematography, the sets, like the music. It's all like as good as anything else. It's a game. It's about this young boy initiating basically into his family gang, the Tang clan, and it's you kind of got the idea.
Did you say the Wu Tang Clan?
No, it's just the Tang clan.
Oh, just the Tang Clan. When you
Yeah,
said the Wu Tang Clan, I
not
was
the
like,
Wu
damn.
Tang clan.
So it's got the Jizza, the RZA.
Yeah, no, the Tang clan, and he's basically just start. He's young. He's like 10 years old, so like something like in that age range. And so he starts off as basically just like being a servant. But he's got the family name, so he's one. It basically just works. You come up through a kid, you do what you're told, and you develop. Eventually, you become the gang. You become like a respected member of the clan. So This ends up being kind of like a coming of age movie, which is really interesting. You have Gong Li, who's probably the most notable actress in this, and is like the star, is like the shining star of anything she's in. She's like unrealistically good looking, and she's one of the key women in the clan, and she spends like a lot of time, and she spends a lot of time with this kid, and eventually it gets to like a boiling point where some violence happens, and you think the movie's kind of gonna transition into this like gang violence movie, and that's what I was really kind of hoping for. But that's where this movie gets like held back a little bit. I think it had a chance to like kind of be like a good fusion of the two and be like a tense movie, but it becomes much more of like a dramatic like coming of age movie. And it just like it feels like underwhelming for like the kind of like type of like turn it had in like the half of the movie. It does end up being like a pretty like dark movie. It has like a good payoff in that sense. But I think I would have. I think this movie has a little bit of fat on it. It runs about an hour and 48 minutes, and I would have liked to see a little bit more intensity from this movie to bridge the gap between the two. But it's just like it's one of those movies that like you really can like saturate in like how well it's made and like if like getting to just like spend time in this era and really like feel like the authenticity of it. It's a movie. There's other movies I've seen like this that are just like much stronger movies, so I would just see myself rewatching that much more frequently than this. But this was a good watch. I did really enjoy this. Still, I still think this movie is very good, and I think this has got some of like the better art from this label I've seen. I really like the cover. Got the original poster underneath. And it looks like it did. Looking at the back, it did get nominated for an Academy Award for Best Achievement in
What label put that
Cinematography.
out?
This was Film Movement
Oh, Film
Classics.
Movement Classics. Yeah.
Yeah, so but I basically picked this up because of the director. I'd seen those two other films from who I mentioned. Yeah, it's very good. If that sounds like the type of film you're interested in, it's definitely a recommend for me. My next one, this was a holdover. I got this one last Memorial Day sale, I believe, and it comes from Umbrella. And it's an Australian movie called Shame. This was another one too where I thought this was going to be more of like an intense like revenge movie. The description kind of makes it out like this, but it doesn't end up really being like this. I love the cover art on this too. This is like real cool. It just kind of looks like it has that look of just that like kind of like dirty like cult movie
I like
that
the spot varnish on the title.
yeah. And like so you got this woman right here, this blonde woman who's basically like Rhea Ripley without like the tattoos and makeup. And she's just like that kind of like hot badass chick. And she's a teacher and she's vacationing down the Australian coast. And her bike gets messed up, and she ends up stuck in kind of like that old trope of like that uncivilized town or that town that's got like the mob rule in it. And she folds herself into this garage with his father and his daughter, who's kind of the victim of shame within the town that it goes more into as it goes along. And as the movie goes on, like you see the bond form between them and like things between like these like group of boys that seem to be above the law that are like in with the sheriff, like just start escalating between these. You learn more and more about the history between like the characters that live there, and she kind of like stands up like as this person that like starts to like stand up for these against this faction of people that it just is like ruling the town to to whatever they want to be above the law and just covering for like these kids that are all just like absolute bastards. So it does like I did while I was watching it feel like it took a little bit to get going. It really is like up like even like 30-40 minutes before anything really starts to like get going. But there's a lot more development in it, and I think I just expected it to be a little more violent, but I think as I slept on it, this movie gets very like it goes for like the straight like melancholy like anti-violence type of movie. It ultimately I think that left more of an impact on it because I
Yeah,
slept
the way it
on it.
ends, man, it's so fucking goddamn shitty.
Yeah, like because of that, I slept on it. I think when I woke up and like was like, all right, I'm gonna log this now. I liked it more than I did like when I finished last night. It ends up being like more
It's a good
memorable
movie.
to
It's a
me.
good movie. I
But
think if you go into it thinking it's gonna be like one of those like hardcore revenge
yeah,
films, you're gonna be disappointed. But it really has a totally different feel and a totally different approach to what's
yeah,
going on. And but it leaves you going, damn, bro.
yeah.
What the
It's
fuck?
much more of like than like enjoy like the satisfaction you get from like a character getting their revenge is more of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the like enough is enough like anti-violence
I
movie.
really like this movie.
But
I'm a
yeah,
big fan.
I think most people watch this will probably like even rank this higher
Yeah.
on my five. But this is really good.
Mhm.
I would probably give it a similar score to the last movie I reviewed, but I this movie's much better paced, it's shorter, and it's just like how much easier, like more I think enjoy it.
Mhm.
And you have to be less in like a specific mood to like watch like this movie. So yeah, Shame. My number 4 or 5, still a very good movie. Now we're gonna get into one of my newer pickups. This is coming from Connie, and it is Once a Moth, directed by this director is a bit significant, Lupita Aquino Kashiwahara. It's a Filipino movie. Back on my Filipino kick. This like I talked about, Shane. This is a very like melancholic, depressing, like downtrodden ending, but it's even much more impactful. It's about really this small Filipino village, and the U.S. built an embassy like right on the outskirts of their town, and so you have all these people in this village that are very like pro United States, like they're here to help, all these things. Which is it's interesting because this movie's from 1976, and you got a lot of those like same like feelings and like resentment from people for those feelings in that movie, but Tang West Side I reviewed. So it was really cool to see this like parallel in a movie that came out 25 years before it. Uh yeah, there's an embassy that gets built on this town, and you have some people within like the family and like this close knit village that like work there, and they start to see like the dirty side of underneath and like what goes on in these things, and like the gross like abuse of authority and like the attitude towards the people there. And then it's like you see these shifting perspectives, and it's a really nice slow burn. It's got Jay Iligan in it too, which was the boyfriend in that movie Kiss of Mata. So it also does have some recognizable faces already for me in these Filipino movies. One thing that's really interesting about this release, if you watch it, they even like put an apology note like before the transfer. The transfer is like thrash. Like they make it watchable, but you get the feeling like watching like some of these Filipino movies, they just were not like stored. Like it was just not like an industry that taken seriously. These films are not stored right. And I think it's like just like really amazing that this company's like finding these like important, like thought to be lost, obscure Filipino movies and really like restoring them, bringing them out there. They announced the 4K this last month. It was like literally a lost movie, and they found prints in like a French lab, and they like, finally restored it in 2023. They screened it last year, and now we get the 4K. So it's just like it's this movie. This company's doing really good work and like restoring these movies that were on their way to just being lost. And like Filipino cinema is not something like I've ever heard much about. There's like one significant director I know about before I started getting into Connie, and it's like it's granted I'm probably seeing tip of the iceberg movies, but I've been like really impressed overall with the output of like some of this like classic Filipino cinema, even like modern, even some of the more modern films. And this movie left a good impact. It's like one of those endings that like it happens and you take it's silent, it's serious, it's sad, and like it's very bleak and pessimistic. And this movie's not too long either. It's not short. It's an hour and 50 minutes, but definitely worth your time. It's a very little seen movie compared to a lot of other even like other films in the output. So I definitely recommend this one as well.
I love how you said an hour and 50 minutes is short.
I know that's why I laughed.
This one.
Compared to some of the
Just for the
others.
people that thought he said
Compared
an
to
hour and
Tyler.
15
Yeah.
minutes. No, he said
Yeah.
50. He said
Yeah, I was
50.
like, I guess this movie is like not.
Like
Okay.
yeah, that's not short.
All right. This one I was very glad I got in the Manor or in the Mazur. I was actually looking forward to watching this movie. This one is actually a movie that Dan the cameraman recommended to me last Black Friday sale, and it comes from the Film Desk.
Dan, the camera dick doesn't know anything.
It comes with the film.
The
It comes from
camera
the Film
dick.
Desk. And it is the 1984 film Vengeance is Mine. And this legitimately might be the
I feel like I know
best.
that movie.
You might, but there's a couple movies with this title, and it's a genuinely terrible title. It has nothing to do with the movie. It doesn't even make sense. But it's a
Fair enough.
cool title, so it kind of drew me in. So this legitimately, I think, is the best American TV movie I've ever seen. Uh, like you talked earlier, TV movies getting a release is awesome. I don't know what the release history of
What
this
year
movie
is it?
was. 84.
Who released this again?
The film desk.
Film Desk.
Yes.
Fuck.
So I guess I'm reading the back now, and it says recently discovered after being unseen for nearly 40 years. And it premiered to really good responses in 2022. So that's kind of how the birth of this came out. And
Hmm.
it's not a horror movie. It's a straight drama. But it stars a little bit of mild horror movie royalty and Brooke Adams, and this is the absolute 100% the best role I've ever seen her, and she like plays this part perfectly, and she absolutely fantastic in this movie. Essentially, this movie is about it's starring Brooke Adams. She's a very emotionally fractured woman that has complicated feelings. She was adopted and she never got along with her foster parents. So what this movie is she's returning home to her New England town, her Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New England town. So like in that on that border area to visit her old family in her old town before she moves to the West Coast. Because when she does that, she's moving there for a job. She's not going to be back anytime soon. And right away, just being from pretty close to where this movie takes place, being able to just capture these kind of this wet fall, this wet kind of springish summer. Even though it does kind of looks like fall, but I guess it's more of the summer New England vibe is just awesome. You just see these old historic buildings like that, New England Appalachian woods, and I just really enjoyed that scene to begin with. But as she comes home to try to mend these wounds with her family, she kind of gets nowhere with them pretty immediately. But she also becomes embroiled with a neighbor and her adopted sister, and she ends up just creating involving herself in more people's issues and opening up different wounds. And it's just this really cool melodramatic reflective compare it's strange. It's almost like this woman comes feeling sorry for herself. She finds out her birth mother's close by, and she goes to try to visit her birth mother. So it's she's coming here to kind of leave all this behind her, and she's feeling sorry for herself, and she goes on to see people and find herself in this situation where she sees other people are way more fucked up as her, just as fucked up as her. And then things happen with what she came there for in the first place, and it's just a very interesting movie. I was really glued to this the whole time, and I was interested to keep seeing where it was going. It's not maybe not as tense as some of the other movies that I've named, but it's probably was the most captivating movie to me of the four thus far. And I just thought the way this played out and the writing in this was all very good. I thought the performances were very good. I was really impressed by this movie. This one is an absolute recommend. The Film Desk, I don't think puts out much stuff. I had never heard of this movie before. Honestly, the title caught my name, and then I saw Dan had watched, and we talked about it for a little bit. But yeah, I really, if I know, just a straight drama, melodrama, if that is definitely not for everyone, but if that's something that it doesn't send you in the other direction, I definitely recommend this one. And then finally, uh, this was one I picked up on the sale. I was really happy I picked this one. Got my top two that I wanted on the randomizer. And yeah, this one delivered as I thought. It comes from Connie and the filmmaker Marilu Diaz-Abaya. It is the 1982 film Morale. This is kind of a squash match. This was by far the best movie. This movie, wow, I liked this movie a lot. It's essentially
I
a
like what
story.
Tyler's like. This movie.
Morale. Wow.
Morale. So yeah, of course, appropriately, Connie coming out on top with a Filipino movie. Uh, yeah, it's the story of this friend group of four college-age women. They're like it starts with them and coming in on their closing days towards graduation, and it's really like a big like counter like I hate to say it, but it's like it's a strong like feminism movie, but it's very captivating, it's very nuanced, and you can like identify with someone in this movie or like find yourself like in these situations like with anyone that's like gone through their 20s and like kind of like lost friend groups and like grown apart with people like started like getting feelings that like your friends resented you for things like starting to feel sideways about other people that you were always like great friends with. It's really just like it's very episodic in nature because all the girls are very different and you basically follow them through these last days and over the next like 2 years where you see where all their lives go in different directions. Like one is like desperately trying to become famous, like she's trying to become a pop star. One of them was pregnant when the movie started and she got married right out of college and now she's just a housewife and it's not everything that she thought it would be. But they all clash. Like you start to see like the resentment growing and the cracks coming within the friend group. Uh, it it has all these scenes like I've never seen in these like in any other of these Filipino movies, but it has just like these scenes of these like young girls like having sex, like doing drugs, drinking. It was just like
This
drinking.
actually sounds up my alley a little bit.
It's yeah, it's
How
not like
young are we talking about?
college.
No, no, that's not what I'm saying, bro. That's not what
I
I'm
don't want to
saying.
mislead you. It's not like something in the vein of like kids. It's
Yeah, yeah,
more of
yeah.
like it's more of like an empowerment like changing of the ideals much like really like in the 80s where you had these kids that well, you had these kids that were like college age in the early 80s even in the US that are like really like just like experimenting with like drugs and like casual sex things like that that's like very different from when their parents who were probably born people at that age their parents were probably on average probably born like in the early 40s. So things are a lot different like when they were their age. And it's like it's kind of that moment of like changing of like the guard into like it's like the new morals of this generation. It's not the same like rigid standards and rigid life that they like were led to believe to live in. And it's just I really like to be it's a bit long. It's just under 2.5 hours. But because like you have these characters that all have like different storylines that like there's a and all have like their own intense things. It's very easy to watch. It has a like episodic nature, but there's things like there's sexual violence in this movie, there's drug use, there's like all these different things. It was really like I've never seen like a Filipino movie, especially like that has like gone like really like made something like real and express this so far. This movie is excellent. I'd be even like I could see myself even going to like a 10 on movie, like a 10 on this movie at some point. I'm like this is like a 9.5 for me. This movie was fantastic. This is again like that other movie, Once a Buff, where you could tell like the restoration of this was like absolutely thrashed, and like for a movie like this to like potentially just like go extinct without like people like over 40 years later like watching this and relating to it, it just like it just makes me happy that we still have physical media. Something like this, it's like the equivalent to like when like a never on disc like VHS or something finally gets the release. So I thought this was an excellent movie. Def I'd recommend this movie to basically anyone. This director also has another movie I picked up called Carnal or Of the Flesh that was mentioned as like one of the most stacked casts in the Kiss It Mata documentary. It also has a similar cover to this one, so I think they kind of go together as a pair. I picked that one up too, so I'm definitely excited to see that one. But yeah, oh, and even just to even mention too, like the ending of this, it's like it's so like poetic. It's like the way like everything in this movie like comes like so full circle. It's like it was just like there were like the poignancy and like the hopefulness to even a movie like this at like the end like was just like unmatched. I got the same feeling watching that movie that came out a couple years ago, Another Round recently. So if you've seen that movie, it has like it gave me like a similar type of feeling that I saw like at the end of that movie, where it's like no matter like how fucked up your life is and like how much you've grown against people, like there's always time to like live in like the moment and just like enjoy what you have, even if it's for like a night. And I just this movie was excellent. Definitely recommend this one.
So, how many times did you shoot your load there?
A lot.
Talking
It
about
was
that one?
great. That's one of my favorite
Like,
Damn,
watches this
did
year.
were those all Connie
you were
releases? The film?
gushing.
There's only two Connie. I had the first one right here. This is Film Movement Classics. This one right here, Shame, is Umbrella.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Once a Moth is Connie. The film Vengeance Mine is Film Desk, and Morale is also Connie.
It's kind of funny how different our releases are.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
I'm like
wild.
Saturn's Core and Agfa.
Tony did something fun though, right? Tony?
Yeah. So if you
Tony,
want to
you're
move
up.
on to mine,
Yeah.
so specifically what I did was I took all the 70s horror movies that Vinegar Syndrome released that I haven't personally watched yet, and I just randomized those and picked five, and I'm gonna rank the five that I watched. So the first one from 1970, this is out of print. I think like, the majority of mine are out of print, so don't even really like bother looking these up. So this is the first of two terrifying super shockers that will rip the screams right out of your throat.
Okay.
And of course, I'm talking about Blood Mania from 1970, a movie that
Blood Mania.
has literally almost zero blood in it. I think they bought like a pint of paint, red paint from like the hardware store and just rubbed it on a couple people in this movie. So this one was definitely a disappointment to me. This is a really interesting double feature because it says Vinegar Syndrome presents a lurid double dose of 70 sleaze from one of the most enigmatic leading men of the era, Peter Carpenter. I looked this guy up and he was in like four movies and that was it. So I'm like, like, like so much of like an enigma this fucking guy was.
Right.
So, anyways, like Peter Carpenter in Blood Mania, he stars as a doctor who we find is being blackmailed by an unknown person for performing illegal abortions, which I found interesting because it was before like Roe versus Wade, and I didn't realize like that was such a taboo thing back in the day. But so he's being blackmailed for all this money, so he's strapped for cash and he's desperate. And the girlfriend that he's dating is actually an heiress who is set to inherit a huge sum of money from her dad, who's literally on his deathbed. And besides letting him just die of natural causes, she poisons him to death to try and get the money fast. But little does she know, her little sister comes in town at the same time, and the inheritance gets all fucked up, and lots of melodrama happens. It's literally just a drama with maybe just like a couple sprinkles of horror, like like right on top. This movie is honestly boring as fuck. Like nothing, like nothing happened in
Hmm.
this movie. The part where the one girl poisons her dad is honestly probably the most interesting scene because she poisons him, and then in the same room after she does that, she decides to stand in front of like a tall mirror, like a full body mirror, take her clothes off and just start rubbing her titties, like in a weird trance like state while he's like dying in his bed, which I thought was really weird and kind of cool. But besides that, it's literally just like this guy, Peter Carpenter, jumping from woman to woman, trying to get any money he can. And it leads to like a 15-minute climax that they say will like destroy you after that. And it was literally nothing. Like this is probably one of the biggest disappointments I've watched in a long time because I don't know why it took me so long to watch this movie. Like I've had it like built up in my mind and I've actually owned it before in like a couple like 12 to like 20 like movie packs that was probably put out by Crown International. But yeah, I can't recommend this one at all. And my number four,
So, did you watch Point of Terror?
yeah, my number four is actually Point of Terror.
I was gonna say because that's the better one of the two.
I actually really liked this
Yeah,
movie.
Point of Terror. I was gonna say I didn't want to say anything, but I'm like, I actually like Point of Terror. So
Point of Terror is actually kind of cool. So Peter Carpenter, the schemy doctor from the first one, is in this one, but he's like a lounge singer, like kind of like Tom Jones, but he's not famous or anything. He just literally works at nightclubs and shit. And this guy is so fucking desperate for fame and fortune that he will use any woman, anybody, or anything to get his ass to the top. And one day he randomly wakes up on a beach and finds Diane Thorne of all people, who most famous is playing Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS. So that right there automatically elevates this movie over the other one.
mhm.
And we find out that she is the wife of a record producer, like a famous record producer who's like wheelchair bound. And she and Peter Carpenter begin an affair, and it ultimately leads to her killing her husband to get an inheritance to like sign him to a record deal and all this bullshit. But the scene where she kills her husband is really fucking funny because he's in a wheelchair and she's got like a red like curtain and she's doing like a fucking bullfight like matador thing. Like he's like rolling his wheelchair towards her and she's like literally like doing the bullfighter thing by like moving the thing out of the way. And she does it to where he charges her in his wheelchair. She moves out of the way and he falls into a pool and drowns to death. and, and him drowning was like some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. But once he dies, she only assumed that she got the inheritance, but the stepfather or the stepdaughter comes into play, and Peter Carpenter starts macking on her to get the money as well. And it's really funny me talking about this because I feel like I'm talking about the same fucking movie. Like it's about a guy who needs money, who keeps sleeping with women, who thinks that they're gonna have money, but then there's a twist that there's another woman that comes in and she has the money instead. So he
Right.
has to go fuck her instead. But this movie is a lot more fun. Like the lounge music is actually pretty decent. Like it was stuck in my head for like days and days after. And it culminates in a fight scene and like a tussle at the end of the movie that was really fucking funny. Like it's a literal pro wrestling match and it ends with somebody getting F5'd off the side of a cliff down to their death. And it was probably like one of the funniest things I've seen all year. But yeah, I really liked Point of Terror way better than Blood Mania. In terms of this disc, it was pretty cool and it included like the TV versions of it too, which I thought was really sweet. If you can find a cheap copy, I would recommend that. So my number three actually comes from Spain, and it's from 1978, directed by Carlos Puerto. We have Satan's Blood, which I had never seen before, and this was pretty cool too. It's about this couple. Honestly, they're the dumbest fucking couple on the planet. They're just like a normal couple, and they have a dog named Blackie. They just decide one day, we're just gonna go out in the town, take the dog for a walk, just have a normal day. And then out of the blue, two random people show up claiming to know the man in the relationship, saying like, "Oh man, dude, we're all old friends and everything. Like, I can't believe you don't remember me." And they just can't remember him because
Oldest trick in
obviously
the
the
book.
dude's
Oldest trick in the
yeah,
book.
dude's fucking lying. But the
Yeah.
dude's like, "Hey, why don't you come to our house? Party, have some drinks." So of course, these people that don't know these people at all and they're complete strangers are like, fuck it. Yeah, why not? Let's go hang out with these people. So this couple, they really love their dog. They like make a huge point of that. And the second they get there, the couple basically makes them like leave the dog outside and forget about him, which is like red flag number one. Like if I came to somebody's house like with my dog and they told me that shit, like I'd be like, no, bye. Who the fuck are you? But their interactions are weird. And then all of a sudden they invite them to stay the night. They decide that they're going to stay the night, leave the dog outside. These people are dumb. And late in the night, the wife, she goes downstairs to just go mosey around and there's a guy in the house who attempts to grape her, and she gets away, goes upstairs, runs to her husband. She's like, "We got to get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "Okay, that's crazy. Let's get out of here." And before they leave, they happen upon like a chapel where the other two couple are fucking each other in a satanic, basically, ritual. And instead of like confronting them about the sexual assaults and everything that's other weird, they're like, you know what? Let's just stay here and have a foursome with these people. So they go, they fuck, and then like it just leads to a bunch of other like weird, surrealist shit. People die, animals die, and it leads to a twist that I really ended up loving about this movie. For a while, I was really upset with like the couple and all the stupid decisions they were making. But then eventually just came to the point where I'm like, you know what? I don't even fucking care anymore. So I'm just gonna watch the rest of the movie and see how everything plays out. But the imagery was really cool. There was an awesome like doll in this movie that was really creepy. And where am I at here? And yeah, like the ending I thought was a really cool twist and it felt very modern to me. And yeah, this movie was a really big surprise. This one is still in print. I think only the standard is available for this one.
You know what's interesting about that movie? Then Juan Piquer Simon or whatever the dude, he actually has an uncredited director credit for that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like if you know, I probably totally butchered that guy's name, but anyways, he's the dude that directed like Pieces and fucking,
I think he said his name right.
yeah, and
Interestingly enough, for all the people that we like butcher names.
right, yeah, Pieces, and he directed Slugs, and he did that shit one from '92, the Cthulhu Mansion.
Yeah, I watched that.
But yeah, he did among films and stuff. But I think he's on. I don't know
Mhm.
why he's uncredited in that. I always wondered that because I remember seeing his name on his director list, and I'm like, shit, you didn't mention it, so I thought I'd bring it up. But
Hmm.
it's really
Yeah, I didn't
interesting.
even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I actually really like Satan's Blood. It's really good. It's fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Yeah, that was a huge surprise. That was just a movie that was always on my radar, and I just waited too fucking long to watch it. So
Right.
I'm glad that one randomly popped up.
Right.
So this next one is from 1972. It's still in print, and there's only like 300 copies left. It is a VSA, and it's a TV movie called Moon of the Wolf.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people shit on this movie, but I thought it was honestly really fucking cool. Like it gave me Twin Peaks vibes. So the movie like starts off, you're in this weird southern town and these two old locals are just walking around. One of them is Royal Dano, the old man from Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Ghoulies and even Twin Peaks. He played the judge in that. They happen upon the body of a girl like laying on the side of the river, kind of like Laura Palmer and shit. So they call the sheriff, and basically for like the first two-thirds of this movie, it's almost like just like an investigation. Basically, they're going around town, interviewing all the quirky like locals and everything, just trying to figure out what's going on. And that's why I was getting Twin Peaks vibes from this. Like the townspeople were all unique in their own ways. The made for TV aspect definitely helped because you had like your traditional commercial breaks, which to me is just like the most nostalgic thing in the world. When did you just have like the stinger, then the fade out, then the fade in? I just love that type of stuff.
Mhm.
But then, of course, it eventually leads to find out that we're dealing with a werewolf here and not a traditional murderer. And once you finally get to where who the werewolf is and everything, like it's a really fun werewolf movie. Like we're still in the era where werewolves are like men wearing just normal clothes, except their hands and their head are just wolf. I don't know like when like the cutoff was to where we decided to like take the fucking clothes off and make them more of an animal. But yeah, this is like probably towards the end of that era. And the makeup is kind of cheesy and everything, but I don't know. I still enjoyed it pretty much. But yeah, like I thought this movie was really sweet, and for an early 70s like werewolf movie, I thought it was pretty solid. Jeffrey Lewis is in this movie, and I'm a big fan of his. Bradford Dillman, I really liked him from like Bug, and what else is he in? Escape from the Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite movies that he's in. But yeah, super stoked I got to watch that one. Recommend it. Only 300 copies left if you want to get that.
Yeah, another TV film getting some
Hmm.
love.
And this next movie was a huge surprise of mine. It is also out of print. Sorry that you can't like go and get this. I'm sure copies aren't that expensive online. I can't see this being like a title that's like in demand. It is 1972's Dear Dead Delilah,
Hmm.
directed by author John Ferris. This is the only thing he ever directed. It starts off like in the past, this woman kills her mom with an axe and she gets sent off to a psycho, like a, yeah, she gets sent off. She gets committed to a mental institution. And then 30 years later, so she gets released. She finds quick work at a plantation. And once we're there, you find out that the matriarch of the place, named Delilah, is basically on her deathbed almost. And she lists off like the inheritance to all of her family members and friends that have like congregated to this plantation for the weekend. And she basically just tells them all that they ain't getting shit. They're all fucking pieces of shit, whatnot. But she she tells them that her father, the real patriarch of the whole enterprise, buried a fortune of like $600,000 somewhere on the property. So basically, the movie is just about these schemy family members, doctors, lawyers, and people going around trying to find the loot. But there's a person going around dressed like the dead father, killing these people left and right. And honestly, for a movie in 1972, like this was a legit fucking slasher movie. Like the kills are nice, and they're gruesome. Like there's a really effective decapitation.
Mhm.
And it was a really fucking cool scene. Like the dude is like digging in a hole looking for this cash. And all of a sudden he looks up and the person dressed like the father is on fucking horseback with like a fucking battle axe, like leaping through, and he just walks in, just lops his fucking head off. It was so cool. Like there's just cool, nasty bodies hanging. There's a shotgun blast to the head that I thought was really fucking awesome. Really cool twists and everything. I was just really surprised by this movie. But yeah, like I would recommend this one to anybody. I would even pay out of print prices to buy this, honestly, if I didn't get it beforehand. I didn't get the slipcase version. I wasn't a subscriber back then, but yeah, Dear Dead Delilah, biggest surprise.
It's funny. I actually pulled that off the shelf the other day, and I forgot what the that looks like. I actually have the slipcover for it, but yeah, that's awesome artwork right there. It's pretty cool.
That was such an awesome movie. Like I
Yeah,
was
it's fun.
surprised. That's like better than most slasher movies from the 80s almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Decent body count. And the cast is like all old people, so it's fun to just watch them get picked off too.
Right. All right. So that is going to conclude the, I guess, the solo review recommendation portion here. Let's move into the featured review for tonight's episode 7 here, which is going to be Final Cut from 1980. Which I think I'm gonna have to actually bring up here, which is an Aussie film.
Mhm.
Have you guys ever heard of this film before?
Nope.
I mean, the
No.
title, I'm sure I've heard of that title because it's like pretty generic title.
Yeah, it's
So there's
actually,
like 7 movies called that.
I know, like this one. So it is the original title called Final Cut, but it's also it comes up on IMDb as Death Games, which kind of makes sense, I guess, in a sense. But
I think
um,
that's what the VHS was.
right, right. I think Death Games was released, or that title was released in the States. That's what it was known for. So, synopsis: a reporter and his girlfriend follow around a famous actor entrepreneur and discover some dirt on him to be made public. All right, so we're all green on this one. I had never even heard of this movie before, or obviously saw it. Who wants to start? Who's got some thoughts on this one? JP, I'll choose you.
Mm,
Why?
I don't know
I'm
because no one
like,
was
I'm like,
speaking.
I
So,
remember these movies the least. Okay, I'll choose you.
uh,
Um, first of all, the first thing I noticed about it is to me it feels like it was made a couple years before it came out. Like it feels
1980 never feels like the 80s. It always still feels like the
but this just
70s.
feels
So,
extra 70s.
yeah, I mean, you're probably right. But I always feel like even American films in 1980 always, because most of them are filmed in 79, they come out in 80 kind of thing, right? Even
like
films in 80s,
80s movies didn't really feel 80s until like the early to mit 80s.
80, 83 was about the time where things started getting a little bit more 80s.
I
But
feel
yet,
like 82 has a lot of 80s film movies.
yeah, I mean, it could. But I feel like 83 really starts to feel like the 80s. But like even like 81, which is such a great year, still feels like the 70s. It's weird.
A little bit, a lot of films though.
Yeah. Um.
What's
Okay.
funny about this movie is that like the back of the case, they like over fucking sell the shit out of this movie. They make it sound like almost like a world's most dangerous game type movie where
Yeah.
like
Right.
these people are going to be hunted around Australia for like filming a snuff film that they shouldn't be filming. But it's like anything but that.
Yeah, I think this movie it's a little bit misleading, but you kind of have to like look at it from maybe a different perspective. Like I was honestly watching this film going, all right, well, it sounds like it should be really good. Exactly what you said. It sounds like it should be really good, and it has this kind of setup where you're like, okay, this could be pretty cool and stuff like that. But it turns into like this, almost like this kind of head trip and stuff like that. But it feels like it's like a huge commentary. It just feels like it's a commentary on like film and media manipulation slash kind of drug manipulation, where it's kind of offering from both vantage points. Like we have this rich entrepreneur, like we said, who obviously has a sick mind and he likes to play games and stuff like that. And, and kind of manipulate the situation by with drugs and stuff like that, which it's kind of unforgiving at points in this film because they seem to be getting drugged a lot more than you probably should. Right from the boat that they're on in the beginning of the film, they get drugged
They
like
also
four times like on in the mansion and stuff like that. But the other vantage point what I'm talking about is like you have the reporter and the documentary, her boyfriend, which is the guy making the documentary, they're about exploiting the situation too. They really want to make a story. They want to manipulate the situation by finding some dirt and, just kind of doing what reporters and filmmakers really can do and stuff like that. It's kind of an interesting concept if you think it like that, because he's manipulating the situation. They're manipulating the situation where, it's like 2 degrees of manipulation, but does it really kind of do it properly? I don't know. That's the problem with this film, is because it feels like they're trying to do something with that angle, but they constantly keep showing the viewer that it might not even be real. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I mean, I get that angle for if you're trying to manipulate a situation and you keep constantly showing that things aren't real and stuff like that. That's fine. There's a moment in the film where it kind of really sells the whole idea of like the whole film media kind of drug manipulation from different angles. Is where the rich entrepreneur, he looks at the filmmaker and he says, "Now, if you're going to film this, I know about that trickery. I know about that film editing trickery, right?" And he's suggesting to him that, hey, I know what you're going to do. You're going to try to manipulate me into looking like this bad kind of person and stuff like that. And I was like, that's actually a really key moment in the film. I was like, that's really interesting because he's doing the exact same thing. He's watching them. He's manipulating the situations with drugs and like into what he's trying to do with the whole kind of stuff film thing, right? Is it real or not? But that's the weird question about this film that I thought that was interesting is like, okay, is it going to be real and stuff? But they do reassure you a couple times later on in the film that what we're seeing actually really did happen, because there's a point where the guy, the documentarian, he runs back upstairs on the balcony purposely to see if the girlfriend actually got shot. Like there's a moment, right? So you know that happened. There's a crazy scene in the film where they're all drugged up. Did it happen? Did he shoot this person? Blah, blah, blah. But they reassure you that it did happen. But then there's a moment later in the film that maybe nothing happened. I'm like, the fuck. But I think it is. I think the point is about film and media, and it's about manipulation. I think that's what they're trying to do within the film.
I thought it was about charades.
Honestly, the charade scene might even be. Dude, I shit you not. When they were doing the charade scene and they were talking about the man with the camera, the first thing I thought it was Tyler. I was like, that guy is going to comment on this shit.
Same thing, bro.
Dude. I thought Tyler right away. I'm like, he's going to be like gushing over this. Like,
right.
The man with the camera. Yeah, I'm like, that's totally a Tyler scene.
Did anybody
right
get any of the films? Like, I had no.
Yeah, I knew every.
Man with the camera. I did. Yeah, I actually watched it in school.
I didn't. Dude, I
no. I meant like guess what they were charading. I was like, what the fuck?
No idea.
Like,
I wasn't even trying to guess.
Watching that scene, it was like escalating for me. First started with like gentlemen prefer blondes. It's like, all right. Then they
this
kept
fucking guy, dude.
Then they kept naming like better movies, and then that girl who I absolutely do not believe do shit about man with a movie camera.
None of them look like they knew shit about anything.
But when she started gushing over man with a movie camera, I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
And of course, the man with the movie camera. Never even heard of the man with the movie camera.
Oh my god! Yeah, I was like, "Fuck that."
That's not a real movie.
I mean, maybe that's part of the commentary too. These guys are just faking the funk, right? They don't give a fuck about real film. They're just trying to. It's all about the story. It's all about the manipulation. Because when you're making documentaries,
a real film.
Because
he worked for a news station. He wasn't like a real filmmaker, but he was like trying to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
But they were really just trying to get some dirt on this guy anyways. And they didn't care how they were going to get it. They, and I love that line where he says, like, I know about that editing, that film trickery shit. I thought that was really cool. But like, they set it up so poorly though. Like there's a scene where they're on this boat and they get invited onto this boat and they're filming this dude and stuff like that. And they're all shit faced and stuff. And this girl kind of stumbles out onto the runway or whatever it is. And dude's all fucking shit faced and he sees her and he's like, oh shit, fuck. And he tries to film it and shit like that. And he can't find his film after, which is like convenient filmmaking, right? It's like, did he film it or not? But like, where'd the film go? And they play off that even later on the fact, because later on in the film, dude sends his goon over there to find this film that he might have caught on there and stuff. So it must be playing like it's real. But it just doesn't come off properly, because even when they start seeing some shit, like the girl, the reporter, there's a point where she wakes up in the morning and she looks out on the beach and she sees that girl out there. And I'm like, okay, if she's drugged right now, why is she waking up still under the influence? It doesn't even make a lick of sense to me. Like there were so many moments where she was drugged, but like they were trying to invoke the fact that like this guy is manipulating them by drugging them and stuff like that. But like she had just woken up, right? Yeah. She wasn't like that before. And I was like, okay, that's a misstep. And also with there was a few moments like that in the film, and I was like, okay. And then there's legitimate moments where obviously when he was pouring the champagne and stuff, like we don't see him slip the drugs, but he's obviously doing something, because the dude passes out on the sofa, and then she goes upstairs into the pool and he plays that hilarious blow up doll prank. Like, who freaks out over him? It looked like the girl on the beach, man. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's a blow up doll. For
no one fucking did it. It's like it's a blow up doll with like some paint on it.
Oh my god. I'm like, okay, so there were certain elements of this film I understood what they were trying to do, but it kept falling short of the idea. I'm like, this is crazy shit. And then what really fucking set me off the ledge in this one was, so this dude's this rich fucking playboy. He's got this huge penthouse. He's got a pool up there and stuff. And if you have a pool and shit, what's the number one thing you probably want to know how to do?
Fucking swim.
Dude, come on, bro.
I don't even understand how people never learn how to swim in.
Dude, it's like the drowning scene I've seen in my life. He slashed around like he didn't even know what was going on.
I know, man.
And did you see the body in the pool in the aftermath?
Dude.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
He was literally standing in the pool and bent over.
Yep.
standing in the shallow end and bent over.
Super
He's
goofy.
fucking floating in the fucking water.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
I know. I was
Maybe
like, oh
that
my.
guy actually didn't know how to swim.
But you got to admit though, like his getaway when he jumps off the building is like, and then they reveal like, oh, he had a net set up. I'm like, what the fuck?
A
They're
fucking net,
ridiculous.
dude.
I'm like, come on,
It's a
bro.
hammock.
I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, this is so ridiculous. But I mean, there's generally a decent idea here. I think the execution is totally flawed, totally ridiculous, and it still raises questions by the end of the film because the way the shit happens with dude fucking going, getting all fired up and into the back of the rig and shit like that. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't even know because they still trying to play it off like it's
I
possibly
felt
not
like
happening.
nothing happened in this movie till like the last 25 minutes.
Well, I mean, the
You're
buildup
right.
is
Nothing did happen for an entire hour.
yeah. I mean, there's just a lot. I mean, there's this really
I was
weird.
really bored with this.
There's a really weird psychedelic lesbian scene where I thought was so
Yeah.
trippy. I mean, she gets drugged again, and like they kind of convince her, manipulate her that he's doing other things and stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
the girlfriend of the rich playboy takes advantage of that situation and kind of has this weird psychedelic lesbian scene. And at the same moment, there's these gay undertones with him in this conversation. This guy like literally leans over and tries to grab the guy, and that's when he freaks out and he's like falls back into the pool, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's kind of a weird scenario in the film because it doesn't really play into what maybe the film director was trying to do with the whole manipulation thing. Maybe it is the sexuality thing. I don't know, but it's really just about playing games and mind fucking games. But it's kind of a, I think, like I said, for this film, I thought about it for, since yesterday I watched it, and I thought about it all today, and I was like, man, there's definitely good ideas here. It's not executed properly. It really isn't.
One thing I thought that was really funny about this movie is that like halfway through it, the main character was complaining to his woman about how he can't film anything interesting for this movie. And I thought that was funny because that's how I feel about the movie I'm watching, is that they can't fucking film anything interesting to fucking show me. You know what I mean? It's like you can't make a movie about a guy trying to make a movie but not film anything interesting and think that we're gonna find that fucking interesting.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's totally true.
There is one thing I have to bring up too. When they were talking about how the rich guy like dealt with like a death on a film set, and he's like, she died during an orgasm. And then his like rich woman's like the Le Petit Morte, the little death thing. It reminded me of a Bride of Chucky.
Mm.
When Alexis Arquette was like Le Petit Morte. I'm like, damn. It just made me want to watch Bride of Chucky. A much better film.
But I just can't believe how
It is
many
definitely
times
much better.
this couple fell victim to like being drugged and shit like that, to the point like
That's why it feels very 70s to me. It's just like the fucking like drug maybe use.
but like dude shot that
It's
chick in
annoying
the
because you
face.
didn't know when they were drugged.
He's like
Yeah.
freaks out and like shoots that chick in the face. He shot two chicks in the face, actually. It's kind of funny when you
Don't
think
understand.
about it.
Oh yeah.
Like right in the
Another
fucking face twice. It's crazy.
Well, one
Two
thing that
different
annoyed
chicks.
me is that in a hallucinatory state, he foreshadowed one of the deaths.
Yeah.
In one of the mornings, he sees like one of the girls like laying dead by the pool with two gunshots. How the fuck? What?
Yeah, I know
And
that,
then
there's missteps in that for sure. Like I said, even with, I think one of the biggest missteps is when the girl reported, she wakes up in the morning and sees that apparently dead girl on the beach. Why the fuck is she seeing that? That doesn't even make a lick of sense.
Right. You're
Like,
you're awake. You shouldn't be drugged at this point.
No,
You're
she's
like
not.
at your most like alert and like responsive in the mornings.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. And then that's where and I kept thinking about that. I'm like, man, it's a total misstep. Like they're just fucking with us right now. So it doesn't even make sense. So, but yeah, it sucks, man. Like I feel like like I said, there's a decent idea here, but it's just, I don't know what this guy even ever did before. Like Ross Dempsey, what did he direct here, man? Should probably go into that a little
Probably
bit.
not a whole lot.
Did he do anything?
Nothing I recognize. he produced something called Kangaroo. Go figure. Fucking Australia. Um, Let me see. He
Yeah,
directed
this guy's
five
a
titles. No,
shit.
he did
He
directed.
didn't direct shit, bro.
Nope. This was actually the last movie he directed. So
He did
Like,
all the
yeah,
stage play.
right,
probably a good call.
right. I mean, sometimes you can't blame the director. I mean, if you're using someone's script or whatever, you're just kind of directing the material. But at the same time, it's like it's hella problematic. It really is. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed with this. Like Tony said, reading the back, it's like, oh shit, man, we're gonna get some fucking like snuff film, like death games,
Yeah,
like kind of
it did.
bloody shit. And like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like the first 45 minutes of the movie, I'm like, motherfucker, what am I watching? I was getting pissed off at this.
That's some naked chicks, and that's about what I had going for it.
Yeah, some naked
Yeah,
chicks, but that
every
les
woman
We
in
should have
the
did fucking Enter
movie
the Void,
showed
fucks.
titties.
but that lesbian scene was like super psychedelic, and it was like drug infused, and it wasn't clear, and it was it was whatever.
I like
Yeah,
the villain guy. I did
that
like the
scene
villain guy
sucked.
too. He was very enthusiastic. I liked him.
He reminded me of like an Australian like Tim Curry. He was very like debonair.
I liked it. You remember Charles Lawton?
What the rich playboy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of like the guy that didn't even really speak that much was the bodyguard, the ex rock star that wasn't making out too well, and he was doing the dirty work for the Playboy now.
Did he even say a line? I
I
don't think he
does
did.
I think he talks on the boat because doesn't she
Okay.
talk to him inside the cab or something like that for like a brief second because he explains that he was like a he was she asked him about his musical career and he's like, oh, that was a long time ago, and she's like, that was 2 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. And then he's like, that's it. But he just kind of explained that he just works for him now. Just kind of does shit. But I don't know. There's definitely a commentary on with that type of character and what happens with the Playboy at the end with the hands and in the pool and stuff like that, because he's kind of responsible for what ends up happening. So I'm not really too sure. Maybe it's something to do with, Rockstar and, fandom or famous and some it's probably something going on there, but not really going to think too hard about it. It's not really something I'm going to check out again. I was pretty disappointed in this movie, to be honest.
The
Yeah, about
hell?
the
I
one of
just
the only
got
things I liked that
dropped.
was the synth soundtrack. I thought that was pretty solid.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some good
soundtrack's fun.
music.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just got disconnected.
Oh.
Yeah,
Weird.
you froze up like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
It would have been awesome if you froze up when you were eating pizza for like 10 minutes just like that. That would have been I would
Dude, I was so fucking I don't think I've ever ate on a show before. Pat made a pizza and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. I'm like, man,
Can't
he's,
wait,
he's,
bro.
he's eating on the fucking show right now. It's crazy. But yeah, fucking final cut, man. So we didn't really show this, but actually we didn't even get a thumbnail, but
oh yeah, we didn't thumbnail anything. That'll be interesting to how we are even gonna like achieve that this time. I'm gonna hold up like all
I
five
did
of my
mute
titles and
myself.
spoil them.
Just do the final cut one.
yeah, I'll just do this
Yeah.
one.
We're just gonna point.
I'll just do this one. How's that gonna work right
The
there?
final butt.
Tyler's not even on screen.
Oh,
Yeah, the final bud. That is more like it.
final butt.
Like in the middle of the show.
Yeah, right in the middle of the show. There's our thumbnail.
Final butt.
That's
I'm
how
not gonna-
boring this movie is. It's like we'd rather make our thumbnail right now.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I always advocate for like Australian films, and
Oh
generally
yeah,
they're pretty
there's
decent.
we
Well,
love Australian flicks, dude.
well, fucking Tyler actually talked about Shame today. That's a Nazi flick.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Can't win them all though.
Also an umbrella release.
I just feel
Did
like
you guys
there's
hear me when I said we should have did Enter the Void?
No, I didn't hear that.
No,
I
we
bought
didn't hear
that
that.
too. I bought it too, thinking that's what we did, and I was like, "Son of a bitch."
no, it's not a complete loss. It's still a good film. It's better than this
Yeah, but
one.
I have it though. That's the thing. I already have the Blu-ray, so now I just paid like a bunch of money for like that like souped up version, and like I don't need that.
It's a nice package though. I really like
It's still in the plastic, so I don't know. think I'm just gonna give it away on if like some people actually enter the gems contest.
I get so annoyed with films like this where I feel like the premise is pretty good and then it just
Mhm.
falters big time. This is exactly one of those films where I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
like
oversold the fuck out of this movie.
yeah, I
Well,
agree.
they did their job.
They did.
Well, there hasn't been
Ratings?
too many misses on the umbrella label, and this is definitely one of them.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like a horrible, horrible movie. It's just it's not something you're ever going to go back to.
because
It's a
this
one and
was
done.
this Partners Month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we did do a
Our
partner.
parlay were like to be fair, like weren't even like good. It was like this and like Into the Void were like the or Into the Void were like
I
the
know,
only
yeah,
choices.
yeah.
Tyler,
Last year we had the sadness.
what
Yeah.
do you have any thoughts on this one? I just want to hear because I think you gave it like a pretty
Just
fucking.
like yeah, it just like I just felt like nothing happened in this movie. It was just like kind of just it wasn't like tense, it wasn't like violent. There's a couple things I liked. I liked this the soundtrack was like was cool. I like the soundtrack. I like the villain guy and like that one charade scene, like I got marked out. Yeah, there's some naked chicks, but you can find a
Yeah,
lot of movies with like all those things that are just also not garbage.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
This was a long 80 minutes. This was a very long 80 minutes, and it just felt like your movie can't be 80 minutes and like any sort of action or like tension in your like horror movie starts in with like 58 minutes into the movie.
Mm.
if anybody wants to see it, it's on Shutter.
Yeah, just watch it out there.
Hmm.
Don't fight this.
Actually, don't watch it.
Yeah,
All right, well, we might as well get into ratings. Tyler, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give this one a clean 4 out of 10.
Tony.
I didn't think it was horrible, but it's not great. It's a literal perfect 5 out of 10. It just exists right in the middle of forgettable.
Yeah, I give it 5.5. I think there's some decent ideas here. I mean, if they're on the same level of what I was talking about, it's okay, but it's not memorable. JP, what do you got?
I'm actually with Tyler. I give it a 4,
Oh
below
yeah.
average for myself.
I think I really overthought this film today. I that's what
I
I do
mean,
when I'm
I
working.
honestly
I
like
think
your thought process was much more complex than mine. I just thought it was a movie about a bunch of people like sitting around
Mhm.
playing
I just kept
charades.
thinking. I just kept thinking about the contrast between like everything was just being manipulated, right? And I was like,
Yeah,
that's
it
really
made
that.
sense.
Yeah. So
I think there was a point in the movie where I was like, "What the fuck are we even doing here?" And I just like looked at the run and I looked how far, and I was like 51 minutes in. I was like, "I don't
Dude,
believe
I
you."
did the same thing, but I was 48 minutes in and I was like, dude, what?
I
We
was
both had
waiting
a
for
we
something to
both
happen. And when
we both
something
had a similar
finally
tipping
happened, it
point,
was an hour and 2 minutes.
and it wasn't
dude,
even like that special. It's
dude,
like
how many
okay,
main
yeah,
features have we had where we were pretty shit? We've had a bunch.
Touch.
we had this
I
Yeah,
one,
always
I
think
always
of
think of
Touch,
Touch,
Touch.
dude, because I was
I think
hella
I gave Touch
disappointed.
like
Bloodlines.
a 6 though.
But Touch was
Yeah,
hella
Bloodline,
Bloodlines.
disappointing.
Bloodline was fucking rough.
Bloodline was brutal, man. Touch was disappointing because that movie should have been
Yeah,
so much better.
at least this was like 80 minutes. I did
Yeah.
like Bloodline more, but
I
like
know
like
you
if you
fucking
said yeah,
tried to sell us on Bloodline.
No,
but
Bloodline
like
sucked.
if like you said you want to watch Bloodlines again, I'd be like no.
I would honestly probably rather watch this again than Bloodline.
Well,
I'd
yeah,
watched this a
I don't
hundred
think I'd
times
want to
before
sit.
Bloodline.
I'm getting rid of it. I'm selling it off right now.
I probably will too.
I'm
I'm
not
never
keeping
watching
them.
that shit again.
Um, I guess what are we doing next month?
I was gonna say release of the month, but we already did that shit. So yeah, what are we doing next month?
Okay, so
What do we got going
my
on?
pick, I don't even remember picking this, but apparently I picked Carrie too.
Ooh,
Dude, I still think it's funny that you picked that. It's kind of funny, but
I don't know.
I'm glad you picked that.
okay. Well, we'll start with the feature review. We're doing Mac and Me, which is fun as hell.
I've never seen it,
I've
but we never
never
really
seen
did
it.
like
Like a
like
kids
kids
movie.
movie, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one to do. Yeah, JP, you're doing Carrie too. Tyler, what are you doing?
A new
Oh,
queef.
for the first time since the last time I reviewed a cinematograph, we're returning to the line with a new leaf.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were doing a cinematograph.
Oh, it says a new queef on here.
Who read?
Oh yeah, I wrote that.
I thought that's
forgot
what the
about
movie
that.
was.
It
No, it's
literally
called-
says a new
Oh,
queef.
I thought you were
I
making fun of me. I wrote that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
No, I literally was just like, I
Dude,
thought
I
it was
actually
like,
thought it was called a new queef. I
I
was
thought
like,
it was
what's
like
this movie
some
about?
foreign title where
Is it
queef
really
meant
about
like
farting
something else.
vaginas?
No, I just thought it was funny, so I wrote a new queef in the title. I just waited for somebody to like say something, and no one ever did.
I was like, is this movie actually about farting vaginas? That's
I'm
hilarious.
glad someone finally did. No, it's called the new queef.
Oh
in the
my
whole
god, dude, you
day.
totally had me on that.
Yeah.
I actually picked that up,
So,
so I might actually watch it with you.
I'm
well,
doing
the reason I picked this though, I'll just tell you right now. The reason I picked this is this director. She made like three
A
movies.
Criterion movie, right?
Well, one of them is this movie. It stars John Cassavetes and Peter Falk, and it's like this movie is fucking awesome. It's just like the most like intense, depressing buddy gang movie you'll ever see. And this movie really impressed me with like it like you could have made it with no money. It was just he was like walking around town talking. The whole movie was so fucking good. So this director has some gas.
Okay.
I am doing They Call Her Death, which is actually a 2025 film for us.
Yeah.
I think it came out originally in 23 or
Definitely watch
24.
that.
I heard good
Yeah.
things about it.
Mhm.
I've seen it before,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to re-watching it. But
Yeah, I'll definitely count it because I'll definitely watch because I can like double like stab pat my
Tony, have you seen it yet?
2025
They Call Her Death?
list.
Nope. Very excited. I've been anticipating that movie for a while.
Yeah. And then what are you doing?
5 Dead on the Crimson Canvas. The
Yeah.
Gausser.
Neo Giallo. Something you just don't say a whole lot.
Made by a bunch of Italians in New York, so it kind of has the giallo flavor to it.
Yeah.
Cool.
American Italians, but cool stuff. Yeah, so that's going to conclude episode 7. We'll be back next month with that. Actually, we'll be back pretty quick, probably 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. We already have next the month after's picks picked already, but we'll save those for the next show.
Yep, that's right. Actually, I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah, that one will be.
Yeah.
That one looks fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that pick too. I'm looking forward to my pick on that one too.
Of course you are.
Again, it's just like every movie but Tyler's I'm going to be watching.
That's why I said I'll actually watch his one this month, the new Queef, because I actually have that one. So it'll be like the first time in a while I watch Tyler's
Dude, I can't believe
Everyone
I fell for that. I thought it was
Kiss
actually
Amada.
called a new queef.
that is true. We all did watch Kiss Amada. You sold it pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
All right, guys, man, that's going to conclude episode 7. We're out of here. And as usual, deuces.
Deuces, yo.